Bomber fans can cheer tonight for their team as well as this guy, Winnipeg's own Rich Pope, who tonight tries to become Canada's newest millionaire in Wendy's Kick for $1 Million.
It's Friday night, and that means football on TSN. Tonight, Bombers, Argo. Come on in.
Let's get ready to go. Boys are moving, gonna put on a show. Show us your colors. Let's get ready to go. It's Friday night football. It's Friday night show.
Spectacular! The stadium is rocking. Is it Friday already?
So show us your colors. Go coast to coast. Friday night football. TSN, let's go.
Well, Bomber fans, you know by now that Buck is back. He's missed the last 2 games with a concussion. Last time he played was against these Argos, but he's ready to go and make amends tonight against Ricky Ray, who's also returning after missing 3 games with a knee injury. He's going to wear a knee brace tonight, but he is also good to go. And speaking about being back, how about Adriano Belli? Last game he played in was the 2010 East Final. The Argos signed him this week, and he is in the lineup tonight for Game 1 of our Wendy's Friday Night Football doubleheader, the Bombers at the Argos. Hi, everybody. Dave Randolph, Jock Climbey, Milt Stiegel, Chris Schultz. Let's start with the Argos and the Ricky Ray story. The Argos have lost 2 in a row, both of them here at home. They've scored just 22 points in the process. This offense, Milt, has been struggling without Ricky Ray. Now that he's back, how soon can he get things back on track with that football?
Well, he'll make an impact right away. Without him in the lineup, they were averaging less than 200 yards passing. With him in the lineup, 300 yards passing. But what he has to do is get the ball in the end zone. He only has 12 touchdowns, and his offense only, as a whole, only has 25 touchdowns. If he wants to have a great impact, get the ball in the end zone.
It was a hit by Argo linebacker Brandon Isaac that put Buck on the sidelines for the last 2 games, and everybody's been concerned about him going back out on the field. He's got a lot to block out off the field, doesn't he?
You know, Dave, this is a challenge for Buck Pierce tonight. It really is. I mean, think about it for a minute. First, he's got to run his offense. That's his #1 priority. Then he's got to compete against the Argonaut defense, but he's also got to find a way where he does not take another significant shot to the head. Buck Pierce is a unique guy. He gives off a vibe. He gives off a confidence. But he's got to change his style. He's got to find a way of making plays and avoiding those physical shots. The big word about this game for Buck Pierce is finish the entire game.
Whoa, why are we talking about the football game? This is Wendy's Kick for $1 Million night. That's what this is about.
I actually like this event, guys. I like especially when we have a guy who's got a shot at it. We have a guy in Rich Pope who actually was kicking 40-yarders yesterday, who from 30 yards, it just looks automatic. I had a chance to chat with him a little while ago, and I said, look, don't make the same mistake that so many guys before you have made. They're relaxed, they're joking, they're having lots of fun at this point of the night. When they can stand over that football for the first time and the crowd's going crazy, the TV cameras are on, they start freezing up.
Oh, great.
And I wanted him to just make sure he's got a trick to calm himself down.
Did you pump him up or psych him out?
I hopefully helped him, David, like I help you each and every night.
Yeah, right. We'll see. It was 8 years ago that Brian Deesberg had that $1 million kick. We shall see at halftime, but there's a football game to play prior to that. Here are your starting quarterbacks, brought to you by Wendy's new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt. Wendy's, now that is better. Here is Buck Pierce looking for his 2nd win as a starter this season, and Ricky Ray trying to snap a 2-game losing streak for the Argos. Paul McClure of Calgary, you could win a 2013 Nissan Altima if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown in tonight's game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned, you could win $1 million. Time to get things started on this Friday night with the call this evening. Here's Gord Miller and Matt Dunnigan.
And welcome to Toronto, everyone. It is a beautiful Friday night and an important football game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and more importantly for the Toronto Argonauts, who can clinch a playoff spot this weekend with a win and a Hamilton Ticat loss tomorrow.
And they got their chief back, their sheriff, Ricky Ray. Now he's going to be wearing a knee brace, but that's not going to be a problem for this veteran quarterback. His worries about putting the ball in the end zone, they're hoping he can do that tonight. And Buck Pierce, you heard the boys, Buck is back. The last 3 times he's faced the Argonauts, he has not finished the game. All fans around the CFL hope that trend stops tonight.
Tim Burke, Winnipeg Blue Bombers can still make the playoffs, but only in a three-way tie scenario. They've got to win out to have any hope of making the postseason. And for Scott Milanovich and the Toronto Argonauts, who play 4 of their last 5 at home, it's been a tough start. They've lost the last 2 home games they've played, beaten last week here by the Montreal Alouettes. So both teams have their starting quarterbacks back, and it is the 3rd installment of this season series. The Argos won the first 2 meetings of the season. 5 weeks away to the 100th Grey Cup. Johnny Sears takes the kickoff at the 4-yard line and run away in Toronto, and Sears gets popped right inside the 20-yard line as he is belted there by Etienne Boulay.
Etienne Boulay bringing a lot of experience. He's a backup safety, running down on teams for the Argonauts, and boy, he introduces himself to Johnny Sears, who's going to do most of the returning as Javon Johnson goes back to corner. So Sears will be doing a lot of this and probably seeing a lot of Etienne Boulay.
Wow. So the Bombers will start first down at their own 19-yard line as 30-year-old Buck Pierce returns to the controls. Last played against Toronto when Brandon Isaac knocked him out of the game. And on first down, the give goes to Chad Simpson. And not much doing there. And Adriano Belli was in the mix of things for the Argos.
He's letting everybody know about it, too. On the flip side, the Bomber starters, boy, a couple sensational rookies right there in Simpson and Matthews. Buck Pierce back at the helm for the Bombers. Really hope this guy can finish this football game and really tap into this offense and kickstart it.
Starters to watch brought to you by Rona, proud sponsor of the CFL and its 8 teams. Second and long, and Pierce is back to throw under pressure. Pierce is down. Tried to flip the ball out at the end of the play, but Pierce was dropped as he was sacked on the play. Ron Fleming's there on the rush, and it's 2 and out for the Bombers, who have only 5 points to show for 15 opening drives so far this year.
Yeah, it's just real simple zone coverage, but they just bring 4 little twist up front. And it's Armstead getting in there, just kind of getting a little arm on Pearson. He goes down in a hurry. Great start defensively for the Argonauts, which should be in good field position.
Chad Owens back to receive the punt from Mike Renaud. The Argos have not taken a kick back for a touchdown yet this year. And Renaud high in the air, chases Owens back to his 45-yard line. And Owens finds a seam, gets across midfield and down to the Winnipeg 50-yard line. And so the Toronto Argonauts will go to work after a 52-yard punt with good field position as 32-year-old Ricky Ray returns after missing the last 3 games.
Yeah, and he's flanked with his starting tailback, Chad Cackard, who is coming off an injury of himself. I'll get more into that later. Andre Dury really has been special in Ricky Ray's absence. Those 2 guys be part of the offense in a huge way tonight.
Winnipeg has allowed the opposition to score a touchdown on its first drive 5 times this year. And Ray to throw on first down. Has time, looks over the top for Owens. And that pass is incomplete. Boy, did Chad Owens miss Ricky Ray. In 3 games without Ray, the Argos' leading receiver had just 8 catches for 52 yards.
Yeah, and it looks like he's trying to get Chad involved in the mix because he's got a man wide open. Owens is right here. He's going to run a corner, but if you watch the little curl right in here, that develops, but Ray's locked on Owens, and watch Dury sitting down right underneath. You've got an easy pickup on 1st and 10. He goes for the deep ball, trying to get Owens involved early.
Second and long, here comes the blitz, and Ray wanted to go long again, and he is dropped. A pile of Winnipeg Blue Bombers got in there. Marcellus Bowman was among the lead group.
Yeah, Marcellus Bowman, boy, really 11 tackles last week in the loss to Calgary, but he's been special. He's right here, coming off the edge, right up the middle, kind of delayed. Cackard doesn't get enough of him. Pocket collapses. Credit the big boys up front for making that happen. That has nothing to do with coverage. That has to do with the pocket collapsing and pressure up front. Great stop by the Bomber defense.
Javon Johnson back to take the punt for Noel Prefontaine. And Prefontaine hangs it way up in the air. Johnson back at the 10. And Johnson spins, gets over the 20-yard line. The Bombers will have the ball back when we return. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Wendy's new Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, featuring Applewood smoked bacon, portobello mushrooms, and a melty cheese sauce. Now that's better. 3 weeks ago, when these teams last played, Brandon Isaac unloaded on Buck Pierce, knocked him out of the game, and was fined for that hit. Pierce maintains it was a dirty shot, but says he holds no grudges. From the 21 on first down. And the carry there for Will Ford. And Ford out across the 35-yard line for a Winnipeg first down.
Yeah, and this defense just got gutted on a big run up the middle, but Mont Carroll's been special as a rookie, Sam linebacker for the Argonauts. Adrian Abelli, force in the locker room, and certainly here on the football field. And Brandon Isaac has an all-star season. Boy, he's been special. He gets to know the Bombers quarterbacks up close and personal, Gord. Doesn't matter who's playing.
Actually, Mark Ford down to the 31-yard line. He'll be just short of Winnipeg first down. And on for the short yardage team is Alex Brink. Brink dives straight ahead and should have a Winnipeg first down. So take you back to September 29th and your thoughts now, Matt, on that hit from 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know, it's I think the league got it right. This is a helmet to helmet. Brandon Isaac did not lower his shoulder pad level. As Schulte likes to say, he's a professional hitter. He knew exactly what he's doing. He'll do it differently next time. I can guarantee you that. I tell you, I love the way that Brandon Isaac plays the game. He made a mistake, he paid for it, he's moving on, but he's a special football player doing some great things for that Argo D.
First down, Bombers from their 31-yard line. Pierce up to throw. And complete that to the far side to Chad Simpson. And Simpson wrapped up there by Marcus Ball after a pickup of 7.
Yeah, this offense is really coming into its own, even in Pierce's absence the last couple of weeks. Over the last 4 football games, are averaging over 400 yards, and previously to that, they were only averaging like 306. So Gary Cruton, their offensive coordinator, no matter who's been on the center, he's making improvements weekly, and this football team is heading the right direction. Now with Pierce back under the center, I would expect even bigger and better things to happen offensively.
Second down, Simpson bought off the first wave, then got belted back again. He's close to a first down, but Chad Simpson took a couple of hard shots there.
Didn't he? Because he was standing straight up. His pad level was, he had no bend in the knees. He was kind of hunting and pecking through the masses there. And, you know, he's shaking his head because a lot of people got a lot of piece of Simpson here. He's standing straight up. Boy, he takes some shots right there. It's kind of like just standing somebody up a dummy in practice and tackling, and everybody just taking pot shots at him. And Chad Simpson felt a lot of punishment there from Kevin Huntley and company.
First down, Bombers. The drive continues from the Winnipeg 42-yard line. And Simpson again. Nice through the Argo D across the 50, close to another first down at the 52-yard line.
Yeah, and this is something that I think is going to really benefit the Winnipeg Blue Bombers when you have production like this up front. They did this last week against Calgary. Right in the middle of the defense, right through here is where they're going to attack and where they exploit defensive bank. Let it come in, hit that small hole. Isaac doesn't funnel back quick enough. And then Chad Simpson doing his thing. They get more he's involved, the better this offense is going to be.
The one thing Tim Burke has talked about with the Blue Bombers this season is they must get off to better starts. In their last 4 losses, they've been outscored 47-0 in the opening quarter. And Burke has talked about it, spoke to us yesterday about the frustration of bad starts, turnovers, giving up early points. So far, early stage of the opening quarter, Winnipeg holding its own.
Yeah, and last time these two teams faced, Toronto jumped out to a 21-0 lead, and boy, that really was a big hole to dig out of them, and it really limits what you can do offensively. Good to see them establish a line of scrimmage here, though.
Brink is back in on 2nd and short, and he'll dive ahead for another Winnipeg first down. This drive began just outside the Winnipeg 20-yard line.
You know, you're talking about establishing a line of scrimmage with the big boys up front. 3 of those Bomber offensive linemen are ex-Argonauts. And, you know, when you talk about the interior for the Argonauts offensive line, Well, that's a bit of a weak spot, you know, and a concern for Scott Milenovich. And 3 of the ex-Argos are starting for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And to me, that is very unique to the Canadian Football League. And, boy, the Bombers are glad to have him. They've really established that line here tonight.
And you know they'll have a lot to say to Belly. He's out there now on first down. Pierce from the shotgun. Pump fake, looks over the top, trying to find Matthews. Lots of hand fighting. And Matthews had to play defensive back to knock that away from Pat Watkins.
What a wonderful matchup to watch. 6'5" on 6'5", Watkins on Matthews, and let the big boys play. Oftentimes we see 5'10" against 5'10". This is 6'5" versus 6'5". Get little hit to go there, a little out and up, a little head movement. The big boys jostling for it, playing some ball, trying to come up with a big play. Just let him play, and the officials did a good job on that play.
Matthews, the first Bomber rookie ever to record 1,000 yards receiving. And early movement on the right side of the Winnipeg offensive line.
Yeah, Steve Morley. That's one of the ex-Argos. The other is Boatman, Shannon Boatman, the right tackle, and Glenn January, the left tackle. Those are 3 that I referred to earlier.
Procedure. Winnipeg, number 62. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Referee Al Bradbury working his 200th game as a head official tonight. And normally it's been Toronto on the receiving end of flags, the most penalized team on the CFL, averages over 100 yards a game in penalties.
And then you throw Belly into the mix, you're adding fuel to the fire, in my opinion.
Winnipeg move back now, 2nd and 15. Flags are down again. Pierce with time, looks up top, and the pass is incomplete, looking for Kito Pobla. And we'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, did you see Belly? He didn't get close to Pierce, but after the ball was thrown, the whistle was blown. Belly gets up into his ear, and I think he tried to actually kiss him a couple times there. Yeah, this is Adriano, right, doing his thing.
Offside, Toronto, number 28. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So Isaac's offside, it's back to 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if you watch Adriano Belly's right here, watch him just move into the interior. Then if we let this go, he doesn't get there. He's just pushing on the big boy up front, Sorensen, and then he just kind of hugging Buck and letting him know he'll be around, pats him on the backside. Buck says, "Get away from me."
And there's early movement by Kito Pobla, and so that'll be the 3rd consecutive offside of procedure call on this drive.
Yeah, and you know, I talked to Gary Cruton, offensive coordinator for Winnipeg, and he loves Kito
Offside,
Pobla.
Winnipeg, number 1. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
So back and forth they go from 2nd and 10 to 2nd and 15 to 2nd and 10, back to 2nd and 15.
Yeah, inconsistent, kind of like this football season. A lot of the football teams we cover week to week, a lot of inconsistencies, but that's been the most consistent thing about these 2 ball clubs is penalties.
Here's from the shotgun on 2nd down, looks over the top, has a man, and it is caught. Snagged by Doug Pierce in his first Canadian Football League game, and his first catch is spectacular.
And this is designed to match up, and they bring the wide receiver inside, and then Pacino Horn comes with them. He comes with him, and Buck Pierce knows he's got a size matchup right in his face, nobody in the middle. And I love how Pierce kind of shields Pacino Horn with his body and goes up tall, comes with a big play for the Bombers.
Now another pump fake. Pierce takes a shot, looks to the end zone, batted up in the air, and the pass is knocked down by Watkins, who takes that away from Doug Pierce.
Well, this is reminiscent of Kahari Jones to Milt Stiegel. Throw it up and let the big guys make a play.
And Buck Pierce got whacked at the end of that throw.
He did, and big guys again on the edge, 6'5" against 6'5". Now Bombers are rolling out Pierce and Matthews, and he's giving his receiver a chance, but he's going against the wrong guy. There's no advantage there.
2nd down, Winnipeg. This drive begins at the Bomber 20-yard line. And the draw play to Chad Simpson. Simpson inside the 20, fights down to the 17, close to another Winnipeg first down.
Yeah, gutsy call. You know you're going to get zone here. They show blitz prior to the snap of the football. You can watch the linebackers walked up on the line of scrimmage. There they all are right here. He's walked up. He's walked up. They're both going to drop. So they're trying to give you an idea that they're coming. They drop off into coverage. They've got a great play for it. Draw. They drop. And that's exactly what you want to do offensively. when they play zone, which we saw right there, you want to hit them underneath, you want to draw, you want to screen. The Bombers called the right play, put themselves in a third and manageable situation.
So Alex Brink of the short yardage offense come on again for the 11th play of this drive.
In spite of the penalties, they continue to find ways to move the chains. Just a good play call there, Gord, on a 2nd and long, and they just kind of, they anticipated right. That's film study or video study, them knowing the tendency that they're going to get from the Argo defense, and they called the right play and executed.
Another short yardage play for Alex Brink. Straight ahead he goes.
That's a tough way to make a living.
Now, don't you wish when you played, Matt, that they'd bring the third guy in and put him...
Hey, so-and-so, get in there. Take this punishment. You go to sneak school. Climby and I started sneak school several years back, and we bring all the quarterbacks in, even kickers. You know, we send them in there. We got all different levels and courses that we put the quarterbacks through. Teach them how to get it done in the interior when all heck's breaking loose. Alex Brink doing a nice job for the Bombers there in sneak school.
This drive is chewed up. 7 minutes off the clock here in the opening quarter. And now first down for the 16-yard line. Draw play. And this time stuffed out quickly as Ricky Foley jumped on Chad Simpson.
Yeah, you saw a 2nd and 10. We saw the linebackers walked up and then dropping. Here is a different reaction by the linebacker. Look at the lean here. Look at the lean here. Watch these guys. They're not dropping here. They're anticipating this run call. They don't go anywhere. They're run fitting there, and they make the play. And that's Armstead coming off the edge, making a big play for him. Little different subtleties he can pick up offensively, know what they're going to do pre-snap.
All the receivers to the wide side of the field. Back they go to Simpson with the seam. Inside the 5, and Chad Simpson has another first down to the Toronto 3-yard line.
Yeah, well, this is, hey, again, gutting him. This is a takeoff from what they did last week against Calgary. Watch underneath. They're just going to slide him under here. He bounces this way. I think he scores, but he continues to attack the middle. Look at this. Just slide up there, follow him. There's a big void to the right. He didn't see it, but he got valuable yards, moving the chains, giving them 1st and goal on the 4th. Bombers' offensive line doing the job here in the first quarter.
Fifteenth play of the drive has chewed up more than 8 minutes on the clock. 1st and goal, Winnipeg. Brings back in. Around the corner, flags are down, looks to the end zone, touchdown. As he fires that to Jason Vega, the defensive end, but there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, this is going against Toronto.
Offside. Toronto, number 78. Penalties declined. Touchdown is scored.
Alex Brink comes on in the short yardage situation and throws to a defensive end.
Bang him. Get out. Flemings can't redirect. With pressure in his face by Jordan Younger, defensive captain for Toronto. Brink tosses a nice little feather pass out to Jason Vega. And he's in the end zone. What a fantastic try, controlled by the line of scrimmage by the Bomber offensive line.
Vega with his first CFL catch, and it's for a touchdown to put Winnipeg ahead. The CFL on TSN is brought to you in part by Nissan. Innovation that excites. How about an old school touchdown drive? 15 plays, 89 yards, took 9 minutes off the clock.
And my dog BT.
And there's Jason Vega, second-year defensive lineman.
Alex Hall is shouting out to Alex Hall, who's out for the rest of the season. Teammate Jason Vegas. Boy, that was old school. You're absolutely right, Corey. That reminded me of Walby, McNeil, Blackie, Van Conen, Gurrell, when they controlled the line of scrimmage. That was old school by the big boys up front for the Bombers.
Chad Owens takes the kickoff from the 12-yard line. They get spun around, lost the football. And the Bombers have it back. Chad Owens has lost a fumble for the 7th time this year, and the Bombers have the football. If there's been a problem for Chad Owens this year, it has been controlling the football, loses his 7th fumble of the season.
Yeah, and right here, you're gonna watch Brandon Stewart, and here's James Green flying down. Stewart, 3-year man from Texas, going to strip the ball. And then Green, 4-year man from University of Calgary. Johnny on the spot, comes up with the fumble recovery. Huge turnover. Dominant first quarter here by the Bombers.
Bombers have had the ball for 10.5 minutes. Toronto for 1:18. From the 27-yard line, Chad Simpson just puts his head down and drives down to the 20. And, Matt, last week the Bombers felt like they played well enough to win that game against Calgary. They held the Stampeders to 2 second-half field goals. The problem was 6 possessions to open the second half, 4 punts, and 2 turnovers.
Yeah, it was one of those games. It's like, how is this happening? How are they still in the football game? Kevin Glenn lit them up in the first half, but they kept coming back because of their defense, kept them in the football game. Here, the offense dominated the line of scrimmage.
Second down for the 21. Here's Simpson again, trying to get around the corner. He does. Another hard hit there as he collides with Marcus Ball, but Chad Simpson has another Winnipeg first down.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Watch this little play here. You got Brink in here, got a little play action here, but they're going to bring Younger around, and he's in his face. But you're going to watch Vega slam into Flemings right there, flips out. He just gives it a heel shot, kind of leaning on his back foot, and flips it out there to Vega. And next thing you know, he's talking to Alex Hall, and all heck's breaking loose for the Winnipeg Blue Bomber offense, controlling the line of scrimmage.
And now driving again, first down for the 16-yard line. Simpson again. Down close to the 10, tripped up at the 11, brought down by Robert McHugh, the middle linebacker.
What a flip of the tables here, Gord. Just horrendous starts. We talked about it for the Bombers, digging themselves in a hole, but boy, they've controlled the line of scrimmage, marched down the football field, gotten some 2-and-outs defensively, and now in a position to go up even more, exactly what the doctor ordered if you're a Bomber fan.
Check that out, it was Will Ford in the carry, back into the game for Simpson. On second down. Here's lots of time. Throws underneath. The pass is caught. And right down the goal line is Isaac Anderson. Touchdown, Winnipeg. And Isaac Anderson has his first CFL touchdown. And the Bombers, with a point after, can lead by 14.
Buck Pierce is just going to wait, and find Anderson, first-year player from Wisconsin. And he's getting a little help, and Evan McCullough can't catch up. And he scoots in the end zone. Well, that's 1-2 right there. I may review that one.
All scoring plays are automatically reviewed.
Yeah.
And there might be some question as to whether or not Isaac Anderson, first-year man from Wisconsin.
Taking a look at that, you know, I think there's an opportunity to check it out because he is down right
The previous play is under review.
there, and the ball hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage. That's tight. We'll see a couple more shots of that, but regardless, the Bombers in an advantageous position here. Making things happen special teams wise, certainly in the interior, that offensive line. Defense has done their thing, carry over from last week. Dominating, getting some 2-and-outs. Really not letting Toronto establish anything offensively.
The previous play is being reviewed.
Think about last week against Calgary, Matt. 1 first down for Winnipeg and 13 yards in total offense in that game against Calgary, the opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, big-time reversal right here. Hey, credit McCullough for trying to get back in the mix there, but tough to see from that angle. Not going to see anything from there. I think this is probably our best shot if we can just kind of look at that football. Pacino Horn's going to get in the way.
All right, it's hard to tell. The officials who saw the ball both called touchdown.
Yeah, and here's a good shot. Now there's the official. He's right on it. He's on the goal line. He's doing what he's.
And now we'll get the call from Al Bradbury.
After review, the receiver's body was down before it made the touchdown. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down, Winnipeg.
Well, that's unfortunate for Isaac Anderson because, you know, that would have been sweet to have his first touchdown, but I can guarantee it. Bombers are. Alex Brink's going to say thank you very much.
Or maybe Jason Vega, who's back out there in the short yardage team.
That's a good call, Gord. It might be Vega, or it could be somebody else.
Toronto should probably double cover the defensive lineman.
Well, he hasn't got to the quarterback over the last 5 games, so he's making himself. He's earned his paycheck today, let's say.
First and goal from the 1 for Winnipeg. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter, which has been all Bombers. Straight ahead.
Oh, I love that.
Touchdown, Winnipeg. As
Quick
the
count.
indication comes up. And this time, Winnipeg is in the end zone.
Quick count, Gord. I love that. You catch the defense. You know, they're digging in. You know, they're getting set kind of like in the blocks in a track and field start of a contest. These big boys are digging in. Bombers get down into the 3-point and watch. Bang, ball snap. As soon as it goes over the center, ball snap. Kind of catches them off guard. Advantage offense, easy score.
Now, is this being reviewed as well? How about Alex Brink, who only comes in short yardage situations, has a touchdown pass and went along the ground?
Yeah, you know, if he's got a bonus in his contract for touchdown scored, he's loving life because he comes into those situations all the time and does this.
He's the closer, and he did get into the end zone.
Good way to put that.
And the point after is good. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers storm out of the gate and lead by 14. Back in Toronto, as we remind you about Engraved on a Nation continuing. It was the last game of Russ Jackson's career in the Grey Cup of 1969. FLQ conflict in Quebec. One of the greatest games in CFL history played against that backdrop. The 4th documentary in the Engraved on a Nation series. Playing a dangerous game next Friday Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN. And there's Alex Brink, who gets to cap off the drive again.
Sweet beard. Is that pink or is that red? I heard some of the Stampeders have dyed their beards pink. Support of cancer awareness.
But Chad Owens, who fumbled that last punt and led to that touchdown, has the ball back and gets up to the 38-yard line and will finally see Ricky Ray again.
Can't afford 2 and outs here. Got to establish something here at the end of the first quarter because it's been all Winnipeg. Offensively, special teams being opportunistic and dominating the line of scrimmage. Ray's got to get back in that saddle and ride big time here and get that offense on track.
So Toronto has run just 2 offensive plays in this opening quarter.
Ouch. Not what the Bomber faithful were hoping for.
Winnipeg has run 22. From the 39, and the give goes to Chad Packard back in the lineup. And Packard puts his head down and gets a gain of about 3 yards on the second to last play of the opening quarter. 1 second remaining.
They really like Mike Bradwell, 4th-year player from McMaster, because he's really picked it up. He's going to come across here and crack. Well, he's right there. He's going to put his head in the hole. Tough way to make a living if you're a 195-pound receiver blocking big defensive ends. Bradwell sticks his nose in there. They love that about this kid now.
Now on second down, Ray under pressure, throws. He's got Dury, and Andre Dury's got a first down inside the Winnipeg 50 to the 49-yard line on the final play of the opening quarter. That was all Winnipeg Blue Bombers. The pickup is 22 yards on the play. Friday Night Football on Wendy's Kick for Million Night returns to Toronto right after this.
Good start for the Bombers. This guy's going to try to keep it going for the city of Winnipeg. A hometown boy, Rich Pope, is this year's finalist for Wendy's Kick for a Million coming up at halftime. Gord Miller.
All right, thank you, David. I'm sorry, which team is the one that has trouble getting off to good starts? How about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers put up over 100 net yards in the opening quarter? Don't turn the ball over. Take advantage of a Toronto turnover. And Matt have a 14-0 lead. Tim Burke said it to us yesterday. Winnipeg had to get off to better starts.
Well, and they did. And they followed the coach's orders. And they did it with a 15-play drive. That's almost unheard of in the Canadian Football League. But they dominated the line of scrimmage, and they simply got after the Argo defense, who's very, very solid against the run.
Chad Packard with the first down here. Picked at it by Ricky Ray, who throws out to Andre Dury. And Dury pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line by Jonathan Hefney.
Yeah, and, you know, you got to get Andre Dury in the mix. You know, he was the go-to guy last week, and this is Dury coming from your left to right on your screen. He's coming across here. He's being matched up on Damon Washington, number 15, the strong side linebacker, playing there for the first time. Dury cuts across his hips. Damon can't flip him quick enough. Ray puts it on the money. Good idea to get on track offensively, finding Andre Dury for the last 2 plays in a row.
Second and short for the Argos, and Ray in the shotgun. Flags are down, and Cackert fights his way to the 40-yard line and then thrown back. Well, last week, penalties really hurt the Argos, not just the number of them, but the timing. One took away an interception, another wiped out a touchdown.
Yeah, and here this is going against the Bombers, but I can tell you, Gord, that Chad Cackert, everybody's talking about his ribs.
Winnipeg, number 91. 5-yard penalty. It becomes first down.
JT Gilmore goes offside and gives Toronto a first down.
Cackert gave me some privileged information prior to the game. It's not his ribs. It's more of in his collarbone area and has to do with that whole right shoulder. And when you're right-handed and you're running back and you're used to dipping that shoulder, that can be tough to deal with.
First down for the 36-yard line. Flag is down again, and Ricky Ray's looking to the end zone, has a man, and he has a touchdown. Andre Dury. A move so good, it took Damon Washington's helmet off.
Well, and this is something I saw him do in practice earlier in the week. They're going to try to get one-on-one with Andre Dury. Damon Washington.
Offside. Winnipeg, number 99. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
And that's what they got done. They got the matchup. They've gone to it basically the last 3 plays in a row. And you're going to watch. Dury comes from number 3 position right here. And he's going to fly right on Washington. He's going to kick out right here. Go right up the seam. There it is. And then if you get in that situation, most accurate deep ball passer in the last 20 years in this league, Ricky Ray's going to find you.
Andre Dury has touchdowns in back-to-back weeks, and the Argos are within 7. Closed captioning is brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey, available now in limited supply at local liquor stores. Toronto had 62 yards passing on that drive, all of them to Andre Dury, who's got his 3rd touchdown catch of the year.
He had 6 for 81 last week in the touchdown. Up to a good start here in the second quarter. Just make that first quarter a scratch for the Argonauts.
Damon Washington, who got beat for that touchdown, hits the kickoff from the 3-yard line, has the seam, and Damon Washington with a flag down gets out across the 40 to the 45-yard line.
You know he's tired because they've been going to work on him defensively. Then he's got to go out there. Thank God for a commercial break after the PAT because Damon Washington needs a little breather, and he's coming off hurting a little bit on the football field right now.
And that was a 42-yard return.
During the return, holding. Winnipeg, number 94. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Make that a 32-yard return for the Bombers. So Buck Pierce and company will be pushed all the way back their own 20-yard line from the spot of the foul. We saw them put together a 15-play, 90-yard drive from this spot earlier. That is Brandon Isaac, the man who knocked him out 3 weeks ago. On first down, Pierce up and throwing. Fires that through a seam for Clarence Denmark. Buck Pierce about all the concern that people have for his health.
It's a sign of respect and you know that people really do care, you know, about my well-being and myself as a person first and then an athlete second. You know, so that makes you feel good. You know, but also, you know, it's myself that's, you know, the one you know, out there playing. You know, I respect everyone's opinion, you know, but it's myself, you know, it's my choice.
And he hands off to Chad Simpson. He gets a pickup of 20 yards. Jordan Younger, the safety, has to make the stop.
And Simpson comes off the field limping a little bit. It's not a good sign if you're a Bomber fan, but I tell you, he's been instrumental here in the quick start for the Bombers. But Buck Pierce, we're talking about a warrior. You know, certainly everybody knows I think we've got a pretty close relationship, and I've been where he's at. I've walked in his shoes, Gord, and I can tell you I'd have the same mentality 8 years in. I had the good fortune of playing 14. Concussions ended my career in year 14. He he's 8 years in, and he feels like he's got a lot of football left. And these are the numbers that are staggering when you look at this and what people are concerned about.
He's only finished half his starts as a Bomber. When he does finish, they're 11-2. When he doesn't, they're 1-12. And this season, Buck Pierce has started 5 games for Winnipeg and finished only 2 of them.
Yeah, and off the top of the show, I said he's played the Argonauts the last 3 games, hadn't finished either one of them, or all 3 of those games. So just mind-blowing numbers there, and hopefully his fortune turns and he can continue to be consistent and suit up for the Bombers.
First down from the 45-yard line. This is Ford on the carry. He finds the corner, and Ford's still going. Will Ford inside the 30, brought down to the 29-yard line, and again, Jordan Younger, the safety, saves a touchdown.
How about some fresh legs into the mix, you know? They lose Chad Simpson, first-year player from South Carolina State. Will Ford says, give me the rock. I can tote it for you. Bounces outside, breaks a tackle there, breaks a tackle there from first-year player Ahmad Carroll. Then Jordan Younger, veteran free safety, captained the defense, finally hauls him down after he shows a lot of spring in those legs right there. Little shake and open field, almost got behind Jordan. Huge effort.
Game was 35. Back to go to the ground to Chad Simpson. And Simpson fights his way down to the 25-yard line.
This is
stopped there, by Matt Black.
This is old school. Matt Black stepping in the free safety spot. You often see that, but he practiced there right behind Jordan Younger several times. They'll get him in the mix, but Younger stays in the ball game, comes down in the mix, and Matt Black will come in. But boy, they're pulling out all stops and trying to stop this Bomber running attack who's been gutting the Argonauts for big chunks here in the first half.
Another drive that began at the Winnipeg 20-yard line. Now on 2nd and 7. Pierce looking to the end zone. Over the top he goes for Anderson. And takes the one-handed catch. Anderson had one taken away by video review earlier, and it will be 3rd down.
He is sucking the paint off the field, trying to get back to the boundary, and I think, you know, he's finding out just how quickly and different this game is and what type of cardiovascular shape you have to be in. Pierce throws a beautiful ball over the top of the shoulder, looks off the safety, keeps him intact, and then gives it to him, and he's trying to fight off. It looks like Ahmad Carroll there with his left arm tries to make the one-handed grab. I think he could have laid out with both hands and made that catch, but boy, he is sucking wind right now.
Justin Pilardi will try the field goal from 32 yards out. And Pilardi, perfect in the last 4 games, is now 9 for his last 9 as the Bombers extend their lead on Friday Night Football. After missing the last 3 games, Ricky Ray is back with a new piece of equipment. Here's Catherine Dolan with more.
Well, Gord, Ricky Ray suffered the same type of injury, a left knee strain back in college, so he's used to the injury. He as well is used to the brace, but that doesn't mean that he likes it. He says it's an adjustment to have to wear it again. He really isn't a fan of it. If he had a choice, he wouldn't wear it, but obviously this is the only way that he can get back into the game. But he said the biggest adjustment for him is the mental aspect of the game, not the physical one. He says getting used to the timing, getting used to the rhythm, and getting used to the speed. When I asked whether or not he was worried about getting hurt or injured, he said, well, he wouldn't be playing pro football. He'd be playing flag football with his buddies.
Chad Owens takes the kick off from the 15-yard line. And Owens out close to the 40 on the return. So what does it mean to the Argos to have their quarterback back? Here's head coach Scott Milanovich.
I think there's a confidence level just knowing that their guy's back, and it's no knock on Jairus or any other quarterback that fills in for a starting quarterback, but Ricky Ray is going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's got 2 Grey Cup rings, and he's made a living by being a great passer, and so our guys are aware of that. And you know, for 11 games or how many ever it was before he got injured, he was the guy that they looked to, and now he's back. So I think there's a little bit of a good vibe there, just because they know that their leader's back.
Hands off to Chad Tackert, who dives out of bounds at the 50-yard line. And that'll be good for a Toronto first down. So what difference does Ricky Ray make to the Toronto Argonauts? Well, with him in the lineup, they complete 68% of their passes. Without him, it's down around 51%. And in terms of points per game, the Argos are 7 better when Ricky Ray plays, injured in their game in Montreal a month ago.
In fairness to Jackson, he had 12 drops in the absence of Ricky Ray, and so his completion percentage would be upwards around 61%.
First down, and Ray's looking over the top again. He's got Chad Owens, and Owens has the catch. Chad Owens down to the 12-yard line. As he was working there on Alex Suber, and the gain is 46 yards.
Well, he's happy to have Ricky Ray back. He's right here. He's going to waggle out here and get matched up on Suber. And if you're one-on-one deep, you know Ray's going to put the ball on the money and give you a chance. Nice job of widening Suber. And then the ball's out there where he just red basket. I mean, it's always going to hit you in the number pretty much because he's that accurate. But boy, Chad Owens is happy to have Ricky Ray back under center.
First down to the 19-yard line. Play fake the Kacker. Out of the end zone, and at the end, the pass is incomplete. He was looking there for Jason Barnes, who missed 6 games at one point in the year. And Matt, you talked about the struggles that Jarius Jackson had. Don't forget, Andre Dury was hurt. Jason Barnes was hurt. The Argos had a lot of injured receivers.
Yeah, there's Jason Barnes. He's just basically running a go pattern right up the seam, trying to get a matchup and zone coverage, which they have, and Ray puts it over the top. Ian Logan's there, as well as our man DeMond Washington, who's playing the strong side linebacker position. They really seem to be picking on 1-5, starting his first time at that linebacker position.
Now on second down, Ray to the end zone again for Barnes. Touchdown, Toronto. Jason Barnes with his second touchdown catch of the year. And he, too, delighted to have his old friend Ricky Ray back.
Yeah, and this is beauty. This is pinpoint accuracy, giving your teammate an opportunity over Jonathan Hefney. The veteran Barnes brings it down. First time in the lineup in a long time. He's worked his way back there, earned his stripes in practice. Jason comes up with the big play they want from him from the wide receiver position.
And the Argos, who barely got their offense on the field in the opening quarter, now with a chance to pull within 3. So Toronto strikes again, and we've got a ball game on Friday Night Football. Two former Sacramento State Hornets combined for that touchdown as Jason Barnes hauls in the pass from Ricky Ray.
Yeah, and to show you how difficult this was, he went right over the top, the shorter Jonathan Hefney, who balked at playing strong side linebacker for the Bombers. DeMond Washington's in there playing strong side linebacker after Javon Johnson stepped back from playing that position here. So they're just picking on strong side linebackers no matter where they're at on the field.
And now Washington returns the kickoff from the 5-yard line, and Washington runs headlong into an Argo at the 35-yard line as he got hammered there by Pacino Horn.
No, Pacino Horn got hammered by DeMond Washington. One was the hammer, the other was the nail.
And there's a 32-yard return for DeMond Washington, who at 5'9", 178 is taking a pounding out there.
Yeah, watch it. Cuts it to the left, and then right here, hits the hole, boink. Says hello to Pacino Horn, runs him right over. Oh, and Pacino Horn said hello, my old friend.
Excellent Scarface reference, man.
Come on, man. That's Al Pacino. Take a look at the bad guy.
From the 36, Buck Pierce is under pressure, and he'll run. And Pierce slides to the 40-yard line.
Everybody says he needs to work on his self-preservation techniques, and was a good job there, seeing and getting what he could. Not going head first, initiating contact, finds a nice soft spot, played a little baseball in the past, sweet little slide, picking up only 3, but more importantly, he's still on the field.
Now on second down, Pierce looking up top, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to find Isaac Anderson. Terrence Edwards, by the way, not in the lineup for Winnipeg, a late scratch. seeking his 5th 1,000-yard season. Edwards has a foot problem and can't go, so Isaac Anderson takes his spot, and the Bombers will be forced to punt.
Yeah, and whether it's Pierce or whether it's Anderson, you know, these guys are going to have to step up. Pierce has already had a big play, but I think that was miscommunication on Pierce to Anderson there. I'll go back if they have a chance.
And Owens sends his punt down to Owens at the 33-yard line. And Owens gets about 10. Lost the football again. And the question now, was he down? The officials talking it over. And thus far, no indication, but the Bombers are arguing that the football came out again.
Pierre-Luc Labbé looks like he comes up with it, but boy, we're taking a couple of shots at this. But boy, all kinds of problems for Chad Owens hanging on the football right here.
That's a fumble,
That's a fumble. Looks like, is that Enoch Mwamba?
Hang on. Quickly, the Argos snap the ball. Chad Cackert takes the handoff from Ricky Ray. So as Tim Burke was reaching for the challenge flag, the Argos snapped the football. Wow. And as a result, the call will stand.
This is fumble, and that is Mwamba, who's got 5 on the year already, forced fumbles, and boy, he is a master at this. I remember about 5 weeks ago, Schultz in studio was showing you his technique, but boy, he's got a knack for that big time. Causing a fumble that wasn't picked up on.
2nd and long now. Ray's looking long again. Has a man. He's got the catch down to the 27-yard line.
Yes. Clinic.
And Javon Johnson was there with him step for step. The man makes the catch.
Deep ball one-on-one by Ricky Ray to some veteran receivers. Mo Man making a start tonight. Ricky Ray's going to have time. Credit those guys up front for giving him time. Just works his way past the defender. Javon Johnson is really struggling this year, in my opinion, no matter whether he's playing strong side linebacker or the field side corner. People are taking advantage of Javon Johnson. There was Mo Man and Ricky Ray.
38-yard gain for Toronto. First down to the 29-yard line, and Ray fires far side for Spencer Watt. And Watt is inside the 20-yard line and close to another Toronto first down.
Well, Ricky Ray only had 2 offensive plays in the first quarter, but boy, they're making hay while the sun's up and they have the opportunity here in the second quarter. They're caught fire, and this is what the Argonaut hopeful really wanted to see. Ricky Ray back in the lineup doing what he does, and he's been doing it here in the second quarter. Lighten up this offense with the deep ball. Doesn't matter who it is, Barnes, Mann, Owens. He's making it happen down the football field.
On first down, to give it to Cackert. Chad Cackert's got the edge. Inside the 10, and should have another Toronto first down as he dives down to the 8-yard line. Ian Logan, the safety, there on the stop.
Now you watch him carrying the football here. I made reference to his right shoulder. It's not his ribs, it's his right shoulder and collarbone area. And watch how he carries his football, coming right into your lap. Now he's thinking about this. I guarantee it, consciously thinking about this. Watch him lead with his left shoulder here, because he does not want to put that right shoulder in harm's way. Chad Cackert dealing with a lot of things going on out there, just not toting the rock, but trying to self-preserve out there to some degree.
Mark down just inside the 10, short of a first down. Here he comes again, puts his head down, and have the first down as he gets down to the 7-yard line.
Wow. Well, I know what he's going through.
Well, now, Matt, remember this, though. This drive began when Chad Owens fumbled the punt. It appeared to be his second fumble of the game.
Yes.
And the Bombers didn't challenge it, and the Argos, to their credit, quick snap to get the play underway.
And that's good coaching. That's good awareness, football awareness, and good coaching. Getting up to the line of scrimmage and not giving the opposition an opportunity to throw that flag and challenge.
Now first and goal from the 8-yard line. Fake to Cackert. Ray over the top for Barnes. Touchdown! Jason Barnes with his second touchdown catch of the game, and the Toronto Argonauts have the lead.
Clinic. It is clinic. Ricky Ray is the professor, and class is in session. This is Barnes doing his thing. Zone coverage finds it. That's easy pickings. Boy, this is fun to watch. Ricky Ray is putting on a clinic here in the second quarter. 21 points.
Hey, Mom loves you.
With the deep ball. Professor Ray.
So the Argos have taken the lead as we reach the 3-minute warning here in Toronto. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Wendy's Asiago Ranch Chicken Club, featuring Applewood smoked bacon and Asiago cheese. Wendy's, now that's better. And this second quarter better for the Argos as well, as Jason Barnes has 2 touchdown catches. That was a 6-play, 69-yard drive after an undetected fumble by Chad Owens allowed Toronto to keep the football.
I said thank you very much.
And Waters sends that kick deep. Clarence Denmark from the 10-yard line. It's out to the 23. There's a flag way behind the play at the 50.
Yeah, and this is Owens. You know, we thought this was a fumble, wasn't challenged. Argonauts say thank you very much, and they go to work. And it's Ricky Ray to man over the top on Javon Johnson in coverage. A dime delivered there, a dime out to the flat to Spencer Watt. Nice little move. And then Chad Cacker, little bounce run, sticking it. And then this is beautiful. Barnes widens. Suber gets up the seam. Ball's on the money. Clinic for the Argonaut offense.
And Bomber coach Tim Burke appeared to be most upset with Ian Logan on the sideline, and those two had an animated exchange at the end of that play as Burke seemed displeased. And of course, Tim Burke was the defensive coordinator for the Bombers before taking over as the interim coach when Paul LaPolice was the coach.
Chip Garber's taken on a lot of those responsibilities in his absence. But boy, I'd be a little upset too.
Illegal block call against Winnipeg moves the Bombers back to their 14-yard line. Play fake to Simpson. And quick throw there to Will Ford. And Ford's got room to run. Will Ford still going. Gets around Younger. And Will Ford all the way down to the Toronto 40-yard line.
Fresh legs, Will Ford. Thank you very much. This is what fresh legs do for you this time of the season. They really exploit a defense that's just tired already. Getting crushed by the line of scrimmage. Great play call. Slip him out in the flat. Great blocking downfield by Pobla, as well as Anderson and Denmark. Team football.
And Ford to the 55-yard gain. Now Pierce goes underneath. Matthews with the catch. And Matthews has another Winnipeg first down to the Toronto 25-yard line.
Boy, team football right here. Bombers offense, like the Argonaut offense here in the second quarter, is really crisp. But when given the opportunity, they haven't had the ball much because Argonauts have been eating up the clock here in the second quarter. But boy, they're doing a nice job up front. Gary Cruden really feeling it with this play calling right now.
First catch of the game for Matthews, the number 3 receiver in the CFL. First down for the 25. And Simpson gets a couple as he ran into Robert McCune.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want to run into because he is built like a brick, you know what, House. And that guy brings a heavy hat. Chris Jones has got to be reeling here because his defense is getting gutted right now by Gary Cruden called offense. And Buck Pierce is at the helm once again, feeling it when he hits a chance here in the second quarter.
Second down, flags are down, and Pierce just shovels out ahead, finds Anderson. Bombers on the ship in a face mask. Anderson's close to a first down. There are 2 flags on the play, and that was a bit disjointed, to say the least.
A little improv, and it looked like Toronto relaxed a little bit, and Anderson doesn't slow down, and he continues to fight, but see if we can't get Al Bradbury to sort this out.
Critical point in the game, 2 minutes to go in the opening half.
It almost seems like, well, it's what's happening. The first quarter, Winnipeg's offense controlling the line of scrimmage, really shoving it down. Toronto's throw, and then Toronto catching fire in the second quarter with their offense and just going deep, lighting it up. Clinic by Ricky Ray and his receivers. And now the Bombers finally get an opportunity offensively. They don't miss a beat, and they're responding here in a big way.
Maybe fouls going both ways. That was the indication of the Toronto sideline. And Tim Burke is still talking to his defense.
Yeah, he is trying to figure it out. His defense is looking at him like they hadn't figured it out either.
Tim Burke said this is by far the most turbulent year he's ever had in football.
Well, yeah, and he's in a tough spot, too. you know, because he's the interim head coach.
Here's the call from Bradbury.
There are multiple fouls on this play.
Okay.
We have illegal block, Winnipeg, number 69, hands to the face. Offside, Toronto, number 96. Also, unnecessary roughness, face mask, Toronto, number 6. That will balance 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. First down.
Hey, good on Al for getting that straight. That was a solid job of officiating there and telling everybody what's going on, because nobody knew out there on that play. But Tim Burke, tough spot as interim head coach, really doesn't have the leverage to make the decisions for down the road, doing a nice job of staying in the present with this football team.
That wasn't officiating, that was algebra. That's first down for the Bombers at the Toronto 13-yard line. The give goes to Simpson. He's got room. Simpson jumps. Gets there. Touchdown, Winnipeg, and the Bombers are back on top.
This is clinics by both offenses. You don't want to be a defender right now in the first half because you're getting schooled. Both offenses having their way. Chad Simpson, brilliant first half. Get him the football more. Takes the heat off of everybody. The big boys like to smack it around. Getting the edge. Edger Kowali doesn't contain. Younger goes down and Simpson goes over the top. Count it. Bombers fighting back.
And now the point after with 1:52 to go. Two teams that struggled offensively in losses a week ago have been very impressive here in the first half.
You know what I mean? 5 and 30.
5 and 30. He's talking about his combination with Will Ford.
Yeah, they should be excited. This is a good-looking play here. Offensive line trying to get up Sorensen on the second level. Edger Kowali can't contain. Jordan Younger inexplicably goes low. Doesn't contest Simpson. Simpson says, not today. Does his Superman impersonation. But somebody draped over his back. Getting in the end zone. Count it. Boy, that is dominant up line of scrimmage play by the offensive line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Buck Pierce says, you're making my job easy tonight. Feed 5 and 30 and get it done.
And now the Argos will get the football back with under 2 minutes to go in this opening half. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, it's Wendy's Kick for $1 million.
Yeah, look at these guys. You can just
3 and 5.
Feel their energy. It's awesome.
And Owens takes the kick off at the 20-yard line and gets out to the 38. So Rich Pope is warming up. Maybe we'll see a puff of little gray smoke when he's ready to kick, you think? Like the Pope and the back.
Yeah,
you get that?
That was good, Gord. That was hilarious. Yeah, this guy's got a chance, though. I think he's going to get the $25,000.
Look at Jock Klein. He's standing right there.
Oh, yeah.
Is Jock telling him what to do?
No, Lance Chomick is. That's Lance Chomick right there.
Yeah.
Lance Chomick, one of the all-time greats, Argonaut kicker. And he's got a chance for the 30 and then Titan truck.
First down, Ricky Ray looking over the top for Barnes, and the pass is just out of his reach. And once again, Suber there on the coverage with Ian Logan, the safety. And you know Logan wasn't going to let Barnes go that time after the verbal barrage from the head coach.
Yeah, I could hear people at home, well, he wasn't that accurate on that throw, Tonigan. Well, when you got somebody living in your kitchen sink, boy, it's awfully difficult. And he gets a little pressure right here, right up the middle. That's a pushback. And that is a nice job up front by Ryan Lucas from Western Washington, collapsing the pocket on Ricky Ray.
So on second down, Ray fires again to Maurice Mann. Can't make the squeeze. And the Argos will have to punt with 1:34 to go in the opening half.
Plenty of time for that Gary Cruton offense, and Buck Pierce, boy, this is the times you live for as a quarterback. 1:34 on the clock. Got a timeout. Going to get the ball back. You're up 24-21. It's been a very productive first half. Controlling the line of scrimmage. Go a little hurry-up offense. See if you can't take an even bigger lead into half.
Noah Prefontaine will punt. And Javon Johnson waiting for it back at his 25-yard line. Low driving kick taken at the 35 by Johnson. Spins back, gets a block on the corner from Logan. And Javon Johnson made a great move back up and across the 50-yard line.
That's a slip zoom. Call that the slip zoom right there. Little move. Slip. Pop back up and zoom away. There it is. Whoop. Bounces up off the hip. Picks up another 10. It's a good return. Boy, they're in striking distance already.
1:19 to go in the first half, and the Bombers have the ball at their own 50-yard line. Trying to avoid a series sweep at the hands of the Argonauts and keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Now Pierce over the top and for Matthews, incomplete. As step for step with him was Pat Watkins.
Yeah, we've seen Buck give his receivers an opportunity downfield. They made a few plays. You know, difference in philosophy. Buck's throwing it up for his big, tall receivers and letting them make a play over the top of the defender. Ricky Ray is putting the ball on the money with the defender beat. That's interesting to point out because here, he's not open. Buck's just giving him a chance to go up. Again on Watkins, no advantage there in height-wise because they're both 6'5", trying to get his receiver an opportunity to make a play.
Second down, here comes the rush. Here's fires, and look out. He found Keto Pobla, and Pobla got drilled by Evan McCullough. And both men are shaken up.
Yeah, Evan McCullough, he's just waiting for this, waiting for the receiver to come into the flat. Here he is here. He's just going to wait for Keto Pobla to come out here, and Buck delivers late.
Timeout's called by Toronto.
There he is, just hold coverage. He sees it. Bang. That looks like hip pointer right there. Whew.
And both of them very slow to go to the sideline. In fact, Pobla has to take a knee.
Well, he's had a tough season injury-wise. That's a tough one right there on the hip. He's got no padding. A lot of players never wear padding in the lower half anymore. You know, old school used to be, butt pad, hip pads, and you very seldom to see players wear thigh pads anymore. No knee pads anymore. That used to be mandatory. It used to be you had to. You see more and more people getting away from that.
He's in, of course, because Corey Watson is out for Winnipeg.
Well, it's a crunch time now there. Bombers are mixing and matching, doing a smoke and mirrors. Look, much like a lot of teams across the Canadian Football League are doing, dealing with injury offensively and defensively.
Chad Owens had trouble hanging on to the football in this game, and the kick chases him back inside his 5-yard line. Owens tries to get the corner, flags are down. He's brought down at the 15-yard line. Suber with the special teams tackle. Toronto used a timeout there, so with 54 seconds left on the clock, the Argos have the ball back after a 51-yard punt, and they may move further back on the return. We'll see what the penalty's about.
During the return, illegal block, Toronto, number 89. First down.
So Watt called for the illegal block, and that will move the Argonauts back to their own 7-yard line.
Yeah, so Buck Pierce had 1:34 on the clock, couldn't do anything with decent field position offensively. Now Ricky Ray's got 54. This is very doable, going across the length of the football field with Ray and his offense right now really pushing the envelope deep, but you can bet that Winnipeg won't be matching up in man-to-man, given those opportunities here. I would expect to see some prevent here a little bit anyway.
First down carry for Chad. For a first down and more up to the 22-yard line. Matt, coming into this game, Toronto had 27 drives this year that began inside the 20-yard line. The Argos scored a touchdown on one of them.
Well, they like to go 2 for 28 on this one. And that's a good start. Get out of your own there with a big run by your tailback, Chad Cackert. Give you some breathing room. Now you can take some shots, maybe settle down into your base offense and see if you can't move the chains here and get in striking distance.
Clock running under 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Not a good sign, eating up valuable time here. Can't believe this is happening. This is not good football.
And this is Cackert again.
He's
tripped up by Logan, so the Argos will simply
they're playing it out.
Let the clock run down.
I don't understand that. Boy, you've had a really solid second quarter here. You backed up. You get a big run by your running back, Chad Cackert. You've got plenty of time on the clock, and you just let it run down. Well, in a must-win football game, trying to secure a playoff spot, you would think that they'd press the issue and take some shots down the field because, like I anticipated, the Bombers going prevent. They haven't. They've just been playing cover 3. There's a lot of seams available, a lot of rail shots available, a lot to be taken out there, but they're not doing it.
And Gackard again with 1 second to go is short of a Toronto first down, and Matt Dunnigan's got to get his running shoes on and get downstairs. Wendy's kick for millions coming up, so Matt will run down and take care of that. We look forward to Dave Randorf, the panel, and our contestant Rich Pope getting set, but what a first half in the return for Buck Pierce, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have a 3-point lead as we reach the final play of a very entertaining first 30 minutes of the football game. Lead has changed hands 3 times thus far, and Ricky Ray takes a knee. 24-21, the Bombers lead. And when we come back, there he is, Rich Pope of Winnipeg. Will get his chance to kick for $1 million plus a whole lot of other prizes. All that coming up when Wendy's Friday Night Football continues from Toronto after this.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center, and welcome to the 8th annual Wendy's Kick for $1 million. I'm Dave Randorf, and standing with me here is 35-year-old Rich Pope, who is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, on a night when the Bombers are here. And you are the finalist. You are the guy that made it out of 14 million total entries in the 8th annual contest. 14 million people wanted to be right where you're standing right now. 4 were randomly selected, 2 in the East and 2 in the West. There was a bit of a playoff system, and you are the last man standing. Before we introduce you to Rich, let's give you a look at how he got here tonight. Rich actually began 2 weeks ago in the Western quarterfinal round. Keith McClellan missed, and then Pope dramatically knocks one off of the upright and in to advance to yesterday's semifinal. There he trailed big time with his 4th of 6 kicks here in Toronto yesterday, but he would nail this 35-yard field goal to get back into the competition. The competition was Dave Swanston. Swanston misses from 35, and Pope now has a 5-point lead. So Swanston now needs to hit this Wendy's double to regain the lead, but he is no good. And Rich Pope, for the 2nd round in a row, comes from behind to qualify for tonight's final in Wendy's Kick for $1 million.
It's all right.
And that brings us to right now, where in a few moments this man is going to have a chance to kick a field goal for $1 million, Toronto, and he's going to need your help to do it. So I'll ask you, Rich, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. Nerves are in check, I think. I've just got to worry about kicking the ball.
All right, so let's get you acquainted with what you were kicking for. We'll start by sending it down to the 20-yard line. Here's Chris Schultz.
Thank you, Dave. Rich, you come on down here, the 20-yard line. You make that field goal, you're going to get a $25,000 gift card from the source. But there's one better, just up the field.
Schultze, absolutely. Look at this. A brand new 2012 Nissan Titan pickup truck with all the fixings. Oh, yeah.
Matthew, that's pretty good. But from the 40-yard line, it is $100,000, and we have a kicker here tonight who has the leg to do it, David.
All very good prizes, all great, but the big one, of course, is right here, right along the 50-yard line, where Rich is going to back it on up and try to kick this field goal for a one-time payment of $1 million. It's only been done once, and that was 8 years ago, so we know it's tough. We will give you $1,000 for every yard the ball travels in the air. So you ready to go? Okay, before you kick, we have to give you the rules here and let you know that all 4 kicks will be attempted. Regardless of whether you make it, you'll kick from 20, 30, 40, and then 50. There are 2 officials under the goalposts, Aaron Cohn and Patrick Walters. You see their arms go up in the air, it is good. They have the final say. All right, Toronto, good crowd in here tonight. Let's help him out, and we'll send it down to Chris.
Okay, folks, give him a hand. Give him some adrenaline. $25,000 gift card from the source for 20-yard field goal. Good luck, Rich.
Winnipeg. Winnipeg's on a roll tonight. Keep her going. Come on, everybody. He's got the leg.
He's won the gift card. Now for the Nissan Titan.
Nothing different, Rich. You got this.
Ever made it from the 40-yard line. Nobody. This man was making them in practice this week. Settle yourself down. Keep your focus. Come on, folks, now. Give me a little help. Get it going.
This man is 2 for 2.
$100,000 from the 40-yard line. Nice try, Rich. Nice try.
All right. I think we've established something, and that is this guy's got a shot to kick for $1 million from 50 yards. Are y'all ready to see him do it? You're going to see him go for $1 million on Wendy's Kick for $1 Million right after this. Welcome back to the 8th annual Wendy's Kick for $1 Million, and we got something brewing here in Toronto tonight with Rich Pope from Winnipeg, Manitoba. You've won the $25,000 gift card from the source. You've won the 2012 Nissan Titan, and now you got a shot at $1 million. You worked with somebody back in Winnipeg. Tell us about that.
I worked with quite a few people in Winnipeg, actually. Justin Pilardi of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers helped me big time. Former Bomber kicker Troy Westwood and Winnipeg Rifles kicker Brad Mikoloff all helped me out.
All right, so thanks to them. You know you got a lot of people back in Manitoba watching you tonight. I'm going to let you focus in here and go to work. We also want to remind everybody, and make it or not, or if he doesn't make it, he will get $1,000 for every yard the ball travels in the air. It's been 8 years since we've seen somebody hit this 50-yarder for $1 million. Could it happen tonight? It's not going to happen without your help here, Toronto. For a one-time payment of $1 million. Kick though, not tonight. Good kick, and that is going to get you a nice little payday. That is $42,000 going to Rich Pope right here. Congratulations on what's been a pretty good night for you.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. Just to get selected for this alone and have the chance to be in this contest, let alone be in the final, is just a huge, huge honor.
Here to say congratulations from Nissan Canada, Mr. Alan Childs, and from Wendy's, this is Mr. John Talbot.
Wow, amazing. On behalf of Wendy's owners and operators across Canada and our great partners, TSN, Nissan, The Source, and Reebok, and of course the CFL, fantastic job. And you know what? You got some fantastic prizes. So first of all, we're going to start with $25,000 from The Source. That's a lot of electronics, my friend. And of course, Alan Childs from Nissan Canada with the keys to your brand new Nissan Titan. On behalf of our Nissan dealers across the country, congratulations, Rich. Well done. Enjoy the truck. And of course, you're going to need a little bit of gas money for that truck. I think we got a big check here for you as well, Rich. Holy cow, $42,000. That's got a lot of miles. That's a lot of Baconators too, my friend. Congratulations.
One more round of applause for Rich Pope from Winnipeg, Manitoba. He's the winner tonight, and his football team has a 3-point lead in the half, 24-21. You are watching Wendy's Friday Night Football. Earlier today, Mike Strange of Childhood Cancer Canada received a donation from Scotiabank for his game-changing work. Nominate someone in your community at ScotiabankGameChangers.com.
Back in Toronto after an entertaining first half and an entertaining halftime. It's Friday Night Football with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers ahead by 3. And the Toronto Argonauts, who deferred after winning the kickoff, or winning the toss rather, before the opening kickoff, will get the ball to start the second half. Some questions whether or not Chad Owens was down on that punt return where a fumble was not called, and the officials who reviewed the play here felt that Owens would have been called down because his elbow contacted the turf. Anything but your hands or feet that touches the ground and you were considered down by contact.
Absolutely. George Black just came in the booth and reassured us that that was the case, and the officials, if it had been challenged, would have ruled him down by contact.
And the kick is taken deep by Owens at the 10-yard line. Owens out across the 30, gets to the 32 where Ricky Ray will go to work. 6 touchdowns scored in that first half by the two teams.
Two lowest scoring teams in the Canadian Football League too, and they turned the tables and found their groove offensively, and very balanced attack. Ricky Ray only completed 8 balls, but boy, he was over the top, going deep, pressing the football and the issue down the field and taking advantage of poor coverage by the Bombers in the secondary. Pinpoint passing. Kacker, decent first half, halfway to 100. Love to see it.
After the offense barely got in the football field in the first quarter, there's a pass that's on one hop to Chad Owens. That'll bring up second down.
It's not the way you want to start, wide open. Ricky Ray knows it too. That's his fault. He'd like to have this one back, but he's moving on to the next play. As you can see, that's the mentality you have to have. Short-term memory, go on to the next one, make it happen.
Last week against Montreal, down 9-7 at half. Toronto had 3 first downs in the second half, went 2 and out 5 times. And here on second down, Ray has to pull the ball back, and he is sacked. Brought down by Kenny Maynard. And the Argos will be forced to punt after a 2 and out to start the second half.
Well, you know, Alex Hall goes down, and, you know, you've got to step up. Jason Vega. Kenny Maynard's been a big part of this football team for the last couple of years from Troy State. Going to move inside. Nice. Gives him some leverage because he's not a big guy. He's light in the load. But I tell you, he's quick, and he used his quickness there to get to Ricky Ray.
Noel Prefontaine sends Javon Johnson back to his 40-yard line to field this punt. And Johnson gets up to the 46 as Matt Black makes the stop, and a very late flag comes out. Matt Buck Pierce took spreading the football around to a new level in that first half. He completed 7 passes to 7 different receivers, so everybody got 1 each.
Spread the love. I'm back, guys. I'm going to give it to everybody.
By the way, Jason Vega has his first
15 yards from the end of the place, first down.
And there's a penalty to Toronto, and that is Walter Spencer, who gets called for the face mask.
Tremendous field position for Winnipeg here, who left in the second quarter very hot. Tell you.
Just to finish the thought, Jason Vega actually has a postseason touchdown for Winnipeg last year.
Yes.
Got a pass in the playoffs. That was his first regular season CFL touchdown.
Been there, done that. Old school, old hat. I love it. Great imagination offensively, well executed play.
First down from the 49-yard line. And Chad Simpson fights his way ahead, still going. First down and more to the Toronto 32-yard line for Simpson.
Feed me, Seymour. That's exactly what Chad Simpson wanted to do. 5 and 30, getting it done in the first half. They go right back to it. Gord, I was a little late coming back up to the booth because I was walking off the football field after that Wendy's kick for $1 million. Had a chance to run into the big boys in the offensive line for Winnipeg.
And after a pickup of 16, Simpson gets a couple on that first down carry.
That offensive line paved the way for Chad Simpson's success in the first half. Now, hey, he's running the football hard, but that's a draw on second and long, taking advantage of the zone concept. Toronto's running, stiff arm on Fleming. Just a nice job all around. Interior, hard running, breaking tackles. Makes life a lot easier on Buck Pierce getting his feet wet again.
And Simpson over 100 yards rushing already in the football game, and the Bombers have rushed for over 100 yards on first down in the game. Now facing second and long. Here comes the rush. Here screens it out. And the pass is complete to Ford. And this time Ford is bottled up as he is brought down there by Toronto linebacker Robert McEwen.
And Ricky Foley was out there as well. Brendan Isaac actually bounced it out, made him redirect, and these guys flying to the football sniffed out that screen. It looked like it was slow developing. Buck wanted to get rid of the football quicker, kept retreating, waiting for the screen to develop. Good pursuit by the Argonaut defense.
And we'll get a 45-yard field goal try now from Justin Pilardi, whose first field goal of the game is the difference in the score thus far. And he has not missed in his last 5 games. Now 10 for 10. And the Bombers run their lead to 6. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Rona, proud partner of the CFL and its 18. Miller, Matt Dunnigan, Catherine Dolan here in Toronto on this Friday night. The Argos now down 6, have the ball at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Play fake to Chad Cackert, and now they'll screen the ball to Andre Dury. Dury's got a first down and more. Across midfield, still going. Andre Dury gets out of bounds at the Winnipeg 40-yard line. Safety Ian Logan finally pushed him out. The gain is 35 yards.
Play fake on a run to Cackert. Watch Ricky Ray. He'll spin it around here. Fake to Cackert. Come over this way. Get a little convoy out in front. Watch the patience by Dury. Nice job of using your blocks. Big boys are working downfield. Wayne Smith, 40 yards downfield, trying to pave the way for Andre Dury. Excellent play call. Another way to take heat off the pressure on the quarterback. Run some screens. Good play call by Scott Mlinovich.
And we've got an injured Winnipeg Blue Bomber back at the 42-yard line.
Andre Dury, it's good to see him healthy coming off a quad injury, torn quad.
Well, it appears to be Javon Johnson, the injured Bomber, the CFL's Defensive Player of the Year last year, who has bounced around this year, has played the corner, as you mentioned. In the last few games, have been a linebacker. Didn't feel comfortable there as we moved back to the corner. And now shaken up.
Yeah, and you know, Ricky Ray continues the hot hand here, and he's been a guy who's been, I think, take advantage of his opportunity and the time off. And I can tell you this: when your quarterback's been in the league for 10 years, when you get 3 weeks off, it does wonders for your arm, and he starts spotting the football with sheer precision, just making it happen. Look at it, just beautiful executed touch passes down the football field. Barnes, Mann, Owens, feeding the rock. Ricky Ray feeling good about his arm right now, what they're doing offensively.
First down for the Winnipeg 40-yard line. Ray, lots of time, wants to go deep, gets hit. As he throws, Andre Carroll got in on him, and the pass is incomplete.
Andre Carroll, just a big boy from Delaware, first-year guy. He's going to get to Ricky. Hey, he's got Cackert wide open, but if he doesn't split him right up the middle, well, he's got 2 guys on him right away. Well, that's a nice job getting pressure right up the middle. Vega getting in there. He's already smelt the end zone once offensively, and Carroll first-year player from Delaware.
2nd and 10. Ray pump fakes, now screens again, and the pass is incomplete for Kackert. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Toronto. And the question for the Argos is it a field goal try or a punt? And they will send out Swayze Waters at the field goal unit. Noel Prefontaine returned last week from his hip surgery. They don't feel he's ready to kick field goals just yet. So they'll stay with Swayze Waters.
Gord, I saw him in practice. He was popping 40-yarders like it was nothing with about 20 yards to spare. Swayze Waters, he can't punt because he's got a broken thumb. So he's doing the kicking here. And Pre does the punting.
His longest field goal of the year, 50 yards. This from 47, and it is wide to the left. And Clarence Denmark elects not to bring it up. Single point for Toronto. Monday Night Football returns after this. This the scene about 20 minutes ago. Rich Pope of Winnipeg, who had quite a day kicking the ball. $25,000 gift certificate from Circuit City, plus a new truck from Nissan, and $42,000 for the distance on the field goal. So, Rich, what was it like being out there in front of the crowd for the first time and doing it
It was
live?
great. Obviously, I was in Vancouver and got to do it in front of the crowd there for the quarterfinals against Keith McCallum from Calgary. But this was an amazing, amazing experience here tonight.
First trip to a Wendy's? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's on you, too, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Baconators are all on me.
Well, so I loved it when you made the 30-yarder for the Nissan 2012 Titan pickup truck.
So working with Lance Chomick, had you made a 50-yarder at any point in practice?
Possibly one in Winnipeg with the wind.
Possibly? You remember those things. Come on, give us the goods.
Yeah, there was a windy day in Winnipeg. The wind was behind me, and Troy Westwood said that I nailed one through the uprights from about 50.
All right, so you're in charge of the multimedia page at the Winnipeg Sun. What's the headline going to be on Winnipeg Sun's webpage tomorrow?
Rich Pope maybe becomes a very more Rich Pope? I'm not sure.
I like it. That's pretty good.
Are you going to go out like that on the town tonight? I think you can walk into any place and be well.
Yeah, I already just coming up back up here to see you guys. I got a lot of high fives and a lot of cheers from the crowd on the sideline. So yeah, you got a lot of support, that's for sure.
Well, it was a tremendous performance under a lot of pressure. I can't imagine, but I thought you fared incredibly well, and we're happy that you had the success you did.
Thanks so much.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Way to go, Rich.
Thanks, guys.
Enjoy the football game.
Yeah, go Bombers.
Thanks to Wendy's. Another great performance.
Thank you.
Second and long for the Bombers from their own 38-yard line. And Pierce throws up high, and the pass is caught as it is snagged by Isaac Anderson. And he'll have a Winnipeg first down out to the 54-yard line.
Buck Pierce takes one here. Now, this is beautiful delivery. Watch Buck Pierce. He feeling the heat. Ahmad Carroll, and this is a catch. Beautiful catch by Isaac over the middle, but watch Buck Pierce in the back end. Feeling the heat. Takes a shot. Snaps his head there late. Seems to be okay.
Now, Pierce one-hopped it. I should correct something I just said. Yep. Rich gets $25,000 from the source.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So maybe a couple of big screens, huh?
Well, I think more than that.
Be like 10 big screens.
Absolutely. You can have half the store for that. A lot of guys are interested in that. You know, you can get a whole gaming thing put together. You can get all kinds of flat screens for every room in a house. Well, I know Source is huge to give, and they're excited about giving that away. I know Nissan is excited about giving that Titan away as well. Beautiful truck.
Second down for Pierce. Gets hit again, throws, it's complete. Down the Toronto 38-yard line. It's Anderson again, but Buck Pierce again took a ferocious shot at the end of that play.
From Brandon Isaac, the quarterback killer for the Toronto Argonauts. It doesn't matter who he's at. Brandon Isaac, I believe he's right here. Watch what he does. Buck Pierce knows he's coming. Little move there, and then takes one, and that's a clean hit.
And Buck Pierce has left the field.
Well, he took a clean shot there. Brandon Isaac, when he meets a quarterback, he's got bad intentions, and he puts him down with authority.
Alex Brink takes the high snap, runs ahead, and dives down to the 32-yard line, and Pierce will come back on for the Bombers, or at least went to come back on the field, but is now remaining for the moment on the sideline.
Yeah, and Buck Pierce knew that was coming. He stood in there. A lot of people say he's got to have a better sense of preservation in the pocket when he's playing a game. But that's a play as a quarterback. That's how you're measured. Standing in the pocket, knowing you're going to take a hit and deliver it down the field with a precise throw, which is what he did. You can't blame him there for doing his job.
They take the Will Ford. Brickmore straight ahead, dives ahead. As a first down on the Toronto 26-yard line, and now Pierce will come back on the field for Winnipeg. So Pierce takes 2 plays off, and with the Bombers now 1st and 10 from the Toronto 26-yard line, comes back into the game.
Yeah, Brandon Isaac, boy, he's done this before. He did it to Alex Brink. He did it to Pierce. Here's going back a couple plays ago, right up the middle. Pierce hanging, knowing he's got his dig coming across. Takes just a good, clean shot from Isaac. We'll show you what Isaac's done to quarterbacks in the past. Relive that here in a second.
First down. Look out. Pierce is hammered again. Edgerton Kowali got him hard, and Buck Pierce is very slow to get to his feet.
I don't care who you are, you got a history like Buck Pierce has or not, when Edgerton Kowali delivers a hit like this, it's going to sting. Pierce is feeling every bit of that. Edge is coming off the top. He's going to hit Pierce from his blind side. Pierce is waiting on a climb route coming from the other side. It's developing, and bang, he saw the head snap back. Edgerton Kowali with a clean hit right on the 4, delivering a knockout blow. A lot of quarterbacks will stay down. Buck Pierce, being the warrior he is, he gets up and says, "Thank you, sir, may I have another."
A couple of years ago, Kowali got Pierce with a late hit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And wound up being disciplined by the league.
Ejected from the ball game by Glenn Johnson. Launched himself into the quarterback.
Now 2nd and long. And the draw play to Simpson. Simpson dives ahead across the 15 of Winnipeg's first down for Chad Simpson, who is close to the 10-yard line.
You talk about a Warriors mentality. Buck Pierce on the sidelines. He's telling his coach, "I want to stay in." There's a shot. Bam! Watch him. Watch him. He's on the ground. He's checking body parts. Looks to his coach. Says, I'm good. Waves him off. I don't want it. Don't need it. I got this. That's what you love about Buck Pierce.
First down, Winnipeg from the Toronto 11-yard line. Here's Alex Brink back in the game. Dives ahead and gets down to the 7-yard line. So Pierce again takes a play off and appears to be ready to come back in. Now Pierce remains on the sidelines again. So Pierce takes a couple of steps onto the field, then turns back again. Second time we've seen it.
Yeah. Gary Cruton up in the box at our level, seeing things clearly here. Going to stay with Alex Brink.
2nd and 5. Option play. Brink moves ahead, dives down to the 1-yard line. Should have a Winnipeg first down. Now in this case, will they leave Brink in with a short yardage offense?
I would think so. Down on the 2-yard line. Looks to be close to a first down.
So the Buck Pierce drama continues.
Well,
2 ferocious shots in this drive.
Yeah, one delivered by Brandon Isaac, who's in the mix last time, kind of started this whole mess and has a history with the quarterbacks in a Winnipeg Blue Bomber uniform.
And it is a first down
and
for Brink.
And Kowali, who is lethal when he arrives in contact. That guy is built for this game. I'm glad if I'm on the field, I know where number 5 is 24/7.
First and goal, Winnipeg from the Toronto 2-yard line. And Power deep in the backfield for the Bombers. Brink around the corner, touchdown. Alex Brink with another touchdown for Winnipeg, and the Bombers with their most impressive offensive performance of the season.
Absolutely, Gord. This football team is feeling it, and it starts with those big boys up front. This is designed. They see it. They're almost reach blocking down here on the goal line. They see a soft spot on the edge. This is by design. Alex Brink and the big boys up front exploit it. Going to the end zone one more time.
Point after is good, and the Blue Bombers have already equaled their best offensive output of the season. Closed captioning is brought to you by Gibson's 100th Grey Cup commemorative whiskey. Available now in limited supply at local liquor store. How about an 11-play, 70-yard drive by Winnipeg that chewed up over 6 minutes on the clock as Alex Brink came on in relief of Buck Pierce twice.
Yeah, both those guys were instrumental in making that drive a success, and the big boys up front, a well-timed draw and call and a draw play that was successful. Huge drive for the Bombers. 4 for 4 in the red zone tonight.
Chad Owens from the 14-yard line. Owens out to the 36, so the Argos will have the ball back and a chance to answer back when we return. Sack Tally brought to you by Purelator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. Well, Winnipeg Blue Bombers with a couple of sacks in this game are now tied with Montreal for the CFL lead. Toronto last in the league with 20 sacks, one tonight, and the sack tally approaching 1 million pounds of food.
It's awesome.
Purelator donates a pound of food for the weight of every quarterback sack.
Which quarterback?
Chad Owens jumps away from Sugar and dives out of bounds. Close to the first down marker. He'll have it out to the 48-yard line. Whichever one got sacked.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a lot of food.
Meanwhile, Chad Owens adds to his league-leading total yards. Owens on pace for 3,900, the record held by Mike Clemens.
Really missed
97.
Really missed Ricky Ray when he's on the lineup. Just absolutely production slimy.
And the pounding that Owens takes.
Tribute to his conditioning.
Now Ricky Ray wants to go deep, throws underneath, and the pass is incomplete for Owens, who couldn't make the one-handed catch.
Yeah, that was just a nice job by Ian Logan, the free safety for Winnipeg, 8-year man out of Wilfrid Laurier. And he actually causes Ricky Ray to check down underneath and make an errant throw. But Ian Logan's over the top. You can see him just the top left corner of your picture. He's going to pick up Dury, climbing route right there over the top, and Ray sees it, has to dump it down. Good recognition by the veteran free safety Ian Logan.
Second and long. Ray stepping up and throws. Whoa, look out. Corey's man got belted on the play by Ian Logan, but hung on to make the catch and has a Toronto first down to the Winnipeg 48.
Oh, well, Ian forces Ray to dump down on that play, and then he imposes his will on this play. Listen to this. Slobber knocker right there. Oh, Ian Logan's taking a knee. Checking his body parts.
And trying to answer that telephone.
That ringing in his head. That's not funny.
Man's got 2 catches for 52 yards in the football game. Logan slowly makes his way off the field, so the Argos moving again. First down at the Winnipeg 48-yard line. As you mentioned, Matt, in the first half, the 2 lowest scoring teams in the CFL are involved in a Friday night shootout.
Love it.
Hey, getting your starting quarterback back in the lineup doesn't hurt, huh?
Absolutely, on both sides. And both these guys are actually feeling it, and their offenses are comfortable with them in the saddle. Offensive play calling, the playbook is open wide for both of these guys because they're seasoned vets, and the offensive coordinators are having a fun time calling this game. Defenses are having trouble making any kind of stops and impact here.
Ray faked the Cacker. Ray up and throwing to Owens. He's got the catch. Now looks back. Looks for a corner block. Here comes Owens around the corner. And dives down to the 38-yard line. He ran about 30 to get 10 and should have a Toronto first down.
Yeah, Hepney was outflanked him there to the field as he bounced back and was redirecting. And boy, it looked like he had a nice wide open field. Ricky Ray, he's got man right out in front. Chooses to go outside, and Chad says, I'm not going in there. Kind of going to go out and around. There's Hepney staying with contained. Nice job by him, forcing Owens back into the posse, who's in hot pursuit.
Marcellus Bowman there as well, but it is a first down for Toronto. Just inside the Winnipeg 39-yard line.
It's fun to watch, though. Isn't he, the flying Hawaiian? He's an electric football player. Attacks the game the way it's meant to be tacked. Fearless. Fearless competitor.
90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Ray, lots of time. Throws to Barnes. He's got it. First down. Down to the 23-yard line. And there's a flag on the play, and that'll be holding against Toronto. That'll bring this game back. Another costly penalty for the Argos, who actually in this game.
Holding. Toronto, number 52. 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
They haven't had nearly the penalty problems they've had in recent weeks.
No, they haven't. And to me, that's part of their success. You can't turn the football over. You can't take penalties. You have to be disciplined and play sound football. For the most part, their Achilles heel has been penalties. And so far, fairly clean night for both football teams.
That one, though, wiped out a 22-yard gain. Now back to the 48. Ray's fired. The pass is caught by Owens and fumble. And now a race for the loose ball, and it is pounced on by the Bombers. And Damon Washington has it. Chad Owens' second fumble loss of the game is his 8th of the year.
This is becoming a story within the story, a stellar season where he goes over 10,000 yards faster than anybody in the game. And here he doesn't put it away, and the ball's on the ground again. Good hustle play by Damon Washington from the strong side linebacker position. In suit, just going to the football. Good things will happen. Ball's on the ground once again from Chad Owens. And that is becoming a problem very quickly for the flying Hawaiian, Scott Milanovic.
And Milanovic is going for a walk to cool off as the Bombers have the ball back at the 28-yard line, and Buck Pierce is back in. And the give goes to Chad Simpson. Flags are down, and Simpson is thrown down at the 30-yard line. For Chad Owens.
I got a sneaky suspicion that was on Adriano Belli trying to get an early start in the defensive lineman position, but that's just me up here.
Offside, Toronto, number 78. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Welcome back to the CFL, Adriano. There's your first penalty of the 2012 season.
You know, a little overzealous, you know, wasn't after the whistles, you know, or wasn't a roughing call. It was just him trying to maybe get those legs that have been on the couch for the last couple of years going a little bit.
And confusion for the Bombers. There he goes to Simpson, who is close to another first down as he dives ahead for 5. Adriano Belli was signed by the Argos last week. Last played in the 2010 playoffs for Toronto. Played for the Ticats and the Alouettes along with Toronto.
Yeah, and he was injured, you know, towards the end of his career with an ankle injury. He says he's over that. He looks in better condition now than when he left a couple of years ago because he's been staying active, staying in shape, and that's a testament to his professionalism. But who would have thunk it? You know, a couple of years ago, he's on a boat, looked like some type of Old Spice commercial, and he was saying goodbye to everybody, and here he is, back on the football field, wreaking havoc in the interior for Toronto's D-line.
Rick dives ahead for a first down. Belli actually played football in Austria last year in a World Football Championship that he was recruited to play in. His Argos trail as we reach the start of the fourth quarter. Wendy's Friday Night Football continues from Toronto right after this. Well, the numbers after 3 quarters point decisively to Winnipeg. Over 200 yards rushing in the game. Time of possession, Winnipeg leads by more than 10 minutes. And, of course, Toronto has turned the ball over twice. Winnipeg, which had 8 last week, has not turned the ball over yet in the football game. Matt, the Toronto Argonauts looked at their schedule and liked what they saw down the stretch. They had 4 of the last 5 at home, but they've lost the last 2 to Saskatchewan and Montreal, and they're struggling here against Winnipeg.
They certainly are, but I'm not going to make this about the Toronto Argonauts. I'm going to talk about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who are staying in the moment and playing it one play at a time. This football team has really started coming into its own. Defensively, they've been pretty good over late, and offensively, they've been coming on the last 4 weeks, averaging for over 400 yards, and here tonight, they're well on their way to surpassing that and really starting to find a rhythm here, and I think it's more what they're doing as opposed to what Toronto is not.
Simpson brought down by Brandon Isaac. There are flags down on the play. The loss would be 9. And we'll see what the penalty's about.
It's going against Toronto one more time, Gord.
Offside, Toronto, number 94. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So instead of a loss of 9, it's a 5-yard gain for Winnipeg, 1st and 5 from the 44.
Makes no sense to me, Gord. 2 closest guys to the ball are your 3 and your 1 technique, Adriano Belli and Kevin Huntley. You just got to watch the ball and get upfield. And they've been called on this drive alone for 2 offsides. To me, it's one of those scenarios where that's undisciplined football. Offsides again.
They just inched back in time. Here's gives off to Simpson, and he is wrapped up quickly. I'm on Armstead in there to help make the stop.
That's right in front of me, Gordon. I'm standing on the 45, basically. I'm watching. It looked like to me they lined up in the neutral zone once again. They got to get that straight because that's going to cost them in this football game. They're trying to come back down 12, and right there on your right-hand side, looked like Ricky Foley's lining up in the neutral zone. Got away with one, in my opinion, there.
Now 2nd and 5 for Winnipeg. And the gift to Denmark on the end around, and nothing doing there. McCune was there, along with Etienne Boulay, and for Clarence Denmark, that's his 6th carry of the year. And it'll be a loss. That'll bring up 3rd down for the Bombers.
Yeah, Gordon, this play's made by Ricky Foley right here, 95 to right of your screen. He sees it, smells it out, doesn't make the tackle, but slows up Denmark, or he can't get it beat around the corner. And then it's McCune and Carroll coming to clean up the mess. Chris Jones has got tremendous athletes back there, the linebacker position. Goes sideline to sideline, helped out by Ricky Foley.
Tumbling kick, and that'll bounce in front of Chad Owens, and in fact back towards the Bombers. Now Owens picks it up. There's a no yards flag down, and the Toronto Argonauts trailing in the 4th without the football back. We return. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Gord Miller, Matt Dunnigan, Catherine Dolan on a Friday night in Toronto. The Argos can clinch a playoff spot this weekend with a win tonight and a Hamilton loss. But right now, Chad Owens and the Argos are down by 12 in the 4th quarter. Ricky Ray wants to go over the top, throws, and Owens has it. Out to midfield, he hangs on, and the Argos have a 1st down on the pickup of 19 yards.
Tough night for Chad Owens. Made some good plays, but also some costly ones for his football team. Well, that ball has been slippery for him pretty much all season long. Magnified once again here tonight. Chad having problems squeezing it.
Do you think that Ricky Ray went back to Owens right away because he fumbled on the last possession?
No, but I just think that he went back to him because he's a great receiver and he's his go-to guy.
Ray throws it out to Andre Dury. Dury's got a 1st down inside the Winnipeg 40-yard line, out of bounds at the 37, and the Argos moving the ball well.
I guarantee it that Chad Owens on the last crossing pattern that was completed to him, he was not Ricky Ray's primary receiver. Ray was looking to the field on a corner route to Barnes. Barnes was covered with the free safety going over the top to double him, and that's why he came off on the backside to the dig to Owens and found him coming over the middle.
On first down, pump fake, and Ray looking to man. And man fighting down there with Javon Johnson. And the pass is incomplete.
Yeah. Looks like Mo Mann might have been pulling Javon Johnson with him. Javon turned around at the last second. And it was stride for stride in his hip pocket. And you can kind of see Mann right here pulling on his arm. Javon turns around and pokes it away. That's pretty solid defense right there. Well, I like that. Javon Johnson showing you how to do it on the corner. Back in his comfort zone.
Second down. A throw. Makes the catch. All kinds of flags are down. As Dury has the catch and Damon Washington makes the tackle, but there are 2 flags in the defensive backfield of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And 2 Argo receivers were side by side when Dury made that catch.
Yeah, and you know, when you think that Gordon, you know, making some predetermined decisions, might have been nice if Ricky Ray was looking towards Owens' way on that last play.
Illegal contact on a receiver, Winnipeg, number 21. Penalties behind. Result of the play is a first down.
How about Andre Dury's evening, Matt? 6 catches, 128 yards.
6 for 81 last week, 6 for 128 this week. Chad Owens there and Heffney beat him over the top. Too bad Ricky Ray's looking the other way. Otherwise, he had 6 to number 2 on the right side.
Ian Logan shaken up again. The Winnipeg safety makes his way off the field. And the Argos have a first down at the Winnipeg 24-yard line, down 12 with 11.5 to go.
It's a promising drive for the Argonauts. Need these points here.
Big end around to Owens, thrown up high to catch. The ball and can't hang on.
Oh, boy, just fighting the feeling, you know, just fighting it. Ricky just lofted it out there. He lifts that right arm, trying to corral it. And the more he tries to will it into himself, the more he fights it. Watch Ricky, the point fake there to Owens. There's it right in front of Maynard. Let it go, just let it go. Oh. And you just feel him fighting it. Couldn't bring her in.
Second down. Ray to the end zone. Incomplete. Heffney was there on the coverage. And it'll be third down, Toronto.
And Damon Washington is high over the top, and he actually breaks up this play. There's a free safety here, right? Watch this unfold. Dury's going to come from the inside. He's a tight end. And Damon's underneath, and free safety's over the top. That's double coverage by design. Well played by the Bomber defense.
And now Waters to try a 31-yard field goal. This to bring Toronto within 9. And Waters punches that through. And so with 10:43 to go in the 4th quarter, Winnipeg lead kept it on.
Last time I saw a game like this was on a video game. You can't script this stuff, folks.
What we have witnessed today is the greatest Vanier Cup that I have ever seen.
This time, it's over. And for the first time ever, Mac, you've won the Vanier Cup.
That classic between McMaster and Laval last year in Vancouver. And those 2 teams are ranked 1 and 3 in the CIS this year. Could go back to those 2 for the Vanier Cup here in Toronto on Grey Cup weekend. Bombers have the ball first down to the 35-yard line after the Toronto field goal. Here, it's up and throwing, and the pass is incomplete. trying to find Anderson. And Isaac Anderson, who's had a busy evening for the Bombers, had that bounce away.
That got away from Buck Pierce. He had a blitz off the backside. Pompriano was right on it, picked it up for him because that was Brandon Isaac, who's got a bead on all Bomber quarterbacks. Pierce kind of rushed his throw and skipped it to his receiver. That's what you want here with Toronto making a late push, only down by 9.
Bombers have not yet turned the ball over this game. 3 interceptions in the end zone they threw last week. Part of 8 turnovers against Calgary. Now on second down, here comes the rush. Pierce steps up and throws. Caught! Anderson makes the catch in tight coverage by Ahmad Carroll. And the Bombers have a first down to the Toronto 47-yard line.
Yeah, and the pressure comes right up the middle. Buck Pierce once again showing you what he's made of, standing there in the heat of the battle, knowing he's going to take one. Armand Armstead going to come free and just staples Buck Pierce, and he lets it go. Outside shoulder, back shoulder throw to Isaac Anderson. Huge offensive play.
Gain of 38 yards, first down, Winnipeg. And the give goes to Will Ford, and Ford backs that side. First down and more. Down to the 26-yard line before McCune makes the tackle. And the pickup for Ford is 21.
And Gordon, when they're bringing pressure off the edge, it flattens the defense out. They have no secondaries coverage. They got flattened. You got defenders here coming off the edge. And coming off the edge, you want to gut them up here. They do, and they bounce outside. This is great play calling once again by offensive coordinator Gary Cruton up in the box. They come off the edge. He bounces outside, and they're gutting the Toronto D for big gains once again.
Under 8.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Winnipeg driving again. And fighting his way down to the 25-yard line is Will Ford for a pickup of a couple.
Ricky Foley in on that play. That had no chance of succeeding. Will Ford hunting and pecking to the outside. Ricky Foley had nothing to do with that. Chris Jones' defense needs to stop here. They can't afford Winnipeg to get any closer. They got to force a field goal, if not a turnover here, to give themselves a chance down the stretch run.
Winnipeg has run the ball more than 200 yards in the game so far. A draw play to Ford, and this time Ford is wrapped up quickly as McCune is there along with Ron Flemons, and that'll bring up third down and a field goal try for Winnipeg.
Same type of design, flattened defense, going to bring pressure on the edge, but this time it looks like McCune and Flemons right here are spying the run. They're not trying to get upfield as the outside leverage does. Watch these guys kind of spy, and then they come off their blocks and they stop the run, forcing the field goal opportunity here for Winnipeg. That's good, sound defense, anticipating Winnipeg trying to gut them one more time when that defense is flattened out.
Velarde's 10 for 10 over his last 5 games. This try from the 33-yard line. Restore the 12-point lead, and it is good. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers extend their lead on Friday Night Football. Tonight's Scotiabank game changer is someone you might recognize. It is former Olympic boxer Mike Strange in the black t-shirt in the middle. Inspired by meeting a young cancer patient, Mike decided to raise money by running across Canada a la Terry Fox. He ran a marathon a day to raise money for Childhood Cancer Canada. Mike, an outstanding amateur athlete in his own right, has received countless inspirational letters from kids during his runs, and his goal is to help children and their families in the community by allowing them to take part in various events and raise money to help those in need. Argos with the ball at their own 35-yard line. Ricky Ray under pressure misfires trying to find Chad Owens. And there's a look at Mike Strange. Imagine running 26 miles a day.
Look at the smiles on those people's faces. That's the feeling you get when you give back. And Mike Strange has been doing that big time, making a difference, paying it forward. Love that.
Mike's quote was, "I've lived many of my dreams, and you can too."
Beautiful. I love the game changer. People across this country making a difference.
Second down, Toronto now from the 35. Ray has to pull the ball down, gets away, and now flips it ahead. It's off a helmet and out of bounds. Hit Marcellus Bowman and skipped out of bounds as Ricky Ray got away from the first man, J.T. Gilmore.
Oh.
What a strange play that was.
Yeah, just absolutely insane. Watch all heck is breaking loose here. Gilmore fighting hard, head down. Looks like he's got Ray under wraps. Ricky peels out of it. Still gets taken down. We didn't get to see tail end of that, but it was like slapstick off the helmet of a Bomber, almost picked off.
Prefontaine sends it high in the air to Javon Johnson back at his 30-yard line. Looking for a block to get the corner, now reverses his field. And nothing doing there. The Bombers will have the ball when we come back. Back at the controls of the Blue Bombers. First down from their 26-yard line with a 12-point lead, and Isaac Anderson makes that catch out to the 31-yard line.
Buck Pierce anticipating pressure just about every time now on 1st and 10, which he's been getting. He's had the right play calls, whether it be run in the middle, bouncing outside, gutting the defense, or the hot reads, which you saw right there to the short side and an open receiver.
Crucial defensive series for the Toronto Argonauts. They need to get the ball back with time on the clock.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to pressure the issue right now. Buck Pierce has been up to the task.
Pierce fires. That's batted down at the line as Marcus Ball got a hand on that. An important 2-and-out forced by the Argos as Winnipeg will have to punt.
Again, pressure, and Buck Pierce sees it. He's got a hot read, tries to get rid of it, but the ball's batted down. Exactly what you want. You're coming from your left side. He's going to be right here. Watch him get his hand up because he can't get there in time. Oh, boy, to me, that's just knowing what you got to do there in Chad Simpson. You got to go there, go toward the line of scrimmage. If he goes over there and gets a piece of Ahmad Carroll, but he doesn't get his hands up in the air because he's got Simpson chewing on his ribs.
Chad Owens stands back at the 35-yard line. And a good kick by Mike Greneau. Owens fields it at the 45, dives ahead to midfield, and the Argos will have great field position. 4:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Toronto's gone 2-and-out 4 times in the football game. And needs to get something going here.
Yeah, I just want to go back to that Marcus Ball play and the knockdown and tell you what I'm talking about. Here's Simpson, right? He just kind of waits right here and lets the play come to him. He's got to go attack Marcus, and he doesn't. Watch him. He kind of just holds his ground here. Go attack him. Ball will be out because Marcus' hands won't be in the air.
Ray looking over the top for Barnes. He's open. He's got the catch. In behind Washington for a first down and a gain of 35 yards.
And the education on the long ball continues for Ricky Ray. He spots this ball well before Barnes is in his route, puts it on the money, taking advantage of Damon Washington once again at the strong side linebacker position. First time there, and the Argonauts are going to work on that.
Under 4 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter. Ray on first down. Brings it out, and the catch is made by Spencer Watt, who's got a gain of about 5 down to the 14-yard line.
The Argonauts have been waiting on Jason Barnes to step in and step up, and tonight he's delivered. The catch over the top of Jonathan Hefty, and here White and Suber, little out move, gets down the seam, the ball spotted perfectly before Ian Logan, the free safety, can get over the top. Little side note, Logan's out of the ball game, and Dan West from Bishops is in his spot in the free safety position.
Second down, Ray, pump fake, left the time, throws the ball, touchdown, Barnes. His third touchdown catch of the game. And the Argos are within a touchdown. touchdown.
On cue, right in front of Dan West. Rookie free safety from Bishops. Just a little deep. Ricky Ray does a nice job with his eyes, looking him off. Barnes is number 81, just going to come and run a little dig underneath. And if you can watch Ray's eyes, he looks to the right the whole time and then locates him, bang. No chance for Dan West to come in there. That's all Ricky Ray, not on the free safety. Jason Barnes getting it done for the Argonauts.
He had one touchdown catch of the season coming in. He's got 3 tonight. And the Argos decide to go for 1, which will pull them within 5. 3:07 to go in the fourth quarter. And Barnes is having a night with Ricky Ray back in the Argo lineup. Of course, they worked very well together in Edmonton last year.
I'll do it. I'll do it. And promising night for Jason Barnes in the receiving corps that needed somebody else to step up. Watch Ray looking to the right here. Look to the right, and then bang. There's the dig coming across. Holds the free safety West. No chance for him to get over. That's just Ricky Ray. Going through his progressions, knows he's got the dig coming across. Barnes does his job. He delivers. 3rd touchdown of the night.
So the Argo defense with an important stop forced Winnipeg 2 and out. Got the ball back. The big gain to Barnes and the touchdown. Barnes 4 catches for 72 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, that's huge. Last year's stats compared to this year. Jason Barnes has not been in the lineup very often this year. He gets a chance tonight and delivers big time, but it'll all go for naught if they can't get a stop here. Down by 5, going to need their defense one more time to step up. And we've seen what they've done in the previous drives, Gordon. They've tried to pressure Buck Pierce. That's going to be the battle to watch here.
And DeMond Washington back deep to receive the kickoff. From the 13-yard line. And Washington stopped inside the 30 with 3:02 to go in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's just been these big boys for the Winnipeg Blue Bomber offensive unit clearing the way, really lighting it up. 221 yards on the ground.
That's 60 more rushing yards than Winnipeg's had in any other game this season.
And I think that's what they have to lean on right here, is find a way to get a couple of first downs with those big boys up front, Chad Simpson.
Matthew Palmbriand, the fullbacks, checks into the football game. But Pierce will be in the shotgun on first down. To Simpson, Chad Simpson. Belted as he gets across the 30 to 35-yard line.
Yeah, what they're trying to do there is go double tights, flatten out the defense, and open up more lanes to run through.
And we have reached the 3-minute warning in Toronto with 2:39 to go in the fourth quarter. The Blue Bombers have the football and the lead by 5. We're back after this.
Travis Lulay's shoulder is a no-go tonight in Vancouver, so Mike Riley will make his first career start for the BC Lions against the Eskimos in Game 2 of our Friday night doubleheader. Gord?
Ricky Ray waits his turn, but the Blue Bombers have the lead and the football with 2:39 to go and the clock running in the fourth quarter. Simpson with the carry, and Simpson dives ahead for a Winnipeg first down out to the 43-yard line. Today's game story brought to you by Mr. Lube. Get top-to-bottom maintenance and take good care. Well, Ricky Ray's had a good night, 4 touchdown passes. Buck Pierce has had a good one as well. Alex Brink's actually come into close a lot, but run for a touchdown and thrown for 2 more. Chad Simpson with 132 yards rushing. Ricky Barnes with 4 catches for 72 yards in a game that has featured 8
timeouts called by Toronto.
Now Toronto calls timeout with 2:15 to go, and Winnipeg first down at the 43-yard line.
Well, it's been an awesome game to watch. You know, just watching 2 veteran quarterbacks get back on the field again. Winnipeg's dominated the line of scrimmage. Ricky Ray's dominated the long ball. And I love what Buck Pierce did in the last play, sequence of play. He took the clock all the way down before he started his cadence, gave the ball to Chad Simpson, and once again, that offensive line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of January, Grieve, Sorensen, Morley, and Boatman paved the way for Simpson to move the chains and keep the clock in their favor.
On first down, Pierce again working the play clock and gives it to Ford. And this time he is wrapped up very quickly. And brought down by Toronto's Brandon Isaac, so that'll bring up second and long. Winnipeg, by the way, Matt, has had the ball for nearly 36 minutes in this game. So defending Ricky Ray the best way, keeping him on the sideline.
Absolutely, and dominating the line of scrimmage with the run game.
And now a huge second down play.
That time Brandon Isaac came all the way from the backside to run down Will Ford.
Chris Jones, the defensive coordinator, looking on. It's 2nd and 13. Here, under pressure, stepping up, long way to go, dives down, look out, as McCune was bearing down on him. So Pierce will come up well short of a first down, and the Bombers will be forced to punt.
Yeah, and Buck Pierce kind of got happy feet in the pocket there, one that really didn't collapse. You watch Buck, nothing's really happening here. Stay right there, just stay right there, stay right there, but he chooses to move and pull it down. Then everybody converges. But watch Clarence Denmark down the football field. Pacino Horn look in the backfield. Nobody covers him. And that's one that you will go back tomorrow and watch on video and say, what if?
And now a chance for Chad Owens to atone for the 2 fumbles in the game. Stands inside his 30-yard line. Good kick. Renault pounds that down to the 15-yard line. Turn of the ball for Owens. Had a scene, a late flag comes down as he was brought down by James Green, but Mike Renault uncorks a 52-yard punt, and now a critical penalty call.
Yeah, this will probably go on Toronto as a holding on the return, and Renault just bombed it, just got immediate field position back for the Bombers with a huge punt, doing his job. Cover teams down there saying, not today, Chad Owens.
And this penalty will go against Toronto.
During the return, holding Toronto, 10-yard penalty, first down.
True to form, with 1:19 left on the clock, the Argonauts take a holding penalty on the punt return, pushes them back. They got to go up about 102 yards.
Toronto has not scored much when starting inside the 20. Just one touchdown drive this season has begun inside the Argo 20. Here they are now at the 11. And no timeout. Ray throws, has a man, Spencer Watt. And Watt gets out to about the 18-yard line. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Wendy's new bacon portobello mushroom melt featuring applewood smoked bacon, portobello mushrooms, and a melty cheese sauce. Now Ricky Ray loses the football, and the Bombers appear to have it back. They do.
JT Gilmore got in there and knocked the ball loose, it looked like.
And Andre Carroll has it. And
Big
so the
boy.
Bombers, who turned the ball over 8 times in a loss last week for Calgary, have forced Toronto into 3 turnovers tonight, and that one will seal it.
Yeah, JT Gilmore, I mean, the big boys for Bombers have dominated the interior. Here he is right here. He's been working hard all game, just plugging it.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
Oh, he just dominates Mark Parento.
Now the question is, was Ricky Ray in his throwing motion when the ball came out?
They can only hope, because Parento gets walked right back and pancaked by JT.
So the command center automatically reviews plays in the final 3 minutes of the football game. The question is, A, was Ricky Ray in the throwing motion?
I don't think so, Corey. I think it's going to be empty hand going forward, in my opinion there. And that is just dominance by JT Gilmore. on Mark Parento, just walked him right back and collapsed the pocket, knocked the ball out.
Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It is a first down, Winnipeg.
And so the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who have the slimmest of playoff hopes, the only way they get into the playoffs is if there's a three-way tie for second place between themselves, Hamilton, and Toronto.
So you see, there's a chance.
So they've got to win out. Toronto's got to lose out, and Hamilton's got to go 2-1. But Hamilton's got to go 2-1 in a very specific way.
That's just being a moment, try to win football games. Bombers have been able to do that tonight.
This has been
their own worst enemy.
This has been by far Winnipeg's best offensive game of the year. Ford with a carry. Ford inside the 5 and down to the 4-yard line. And why wouldn't the Bombers run it well?
Cap it off that way. Dominant performance by your interior offensive linemen. Your offensive lineman and interior defense pushing the pocket, collapsing, making plays. But that offensive line has been stellar. Hats off to the big boys rooting it out. That's a big lane there for Will Ford to exploit. He does a nice job forcing Jordan Younger to come up from a safety position and make a tackle.
Ford remains in the backfield and on the carry. Stymied this time as he's backed up at the 5-yard line. 32 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. So Toronto next week goes to Saskatchewan.
I find it interesting, Gord. Again, I'm going to repeat. 3 of the starting offensive linemen for Winnipeg were once Bombers. Or excuse me, once Argonauts. January, Morley, and Boatman. They've done a number on their old team tonight. Dominating that line of scrimmage.
This will be a 3rd consecutive home loss for the Toronto Argonauts. As you mentioned, they go to Saskatchewan next week where the Riders are in the thick of that race in the West.
Great West out there. And then great fight out there.
Argos close out at home against Hamilton in the final week of the season. And here's the carry for Ford. Touchdown!
Exclamation point. Winnipeg Blue Bombers running attack. Awesome tonight.
And Will Ford, who's not getting nearly the notice that Chad Simpson is, having a great night for Winnipeg as well, running the football.
Wow. That was like a college game as far as dominating the line of scrimmage. You don't see that very often in the Canadian Football League where somebody puts about 250 on the ground. Unbelievable numbers.
And for Will Ford, there's his 3rd touchdown of the year. And the Bombers cross over 40, 44-32. Winnipeg leads with 9 seconds to go. So maybe the best way to avenge having Buck Pierce knocked out the last time they played was to hand Toronto a defeat on home field. And now with this result, Winnipeg will go to 5-11 on the season. And as you said, there is a slim chance for Winnipeg, which will go to Hamilton next week, then be home to Montreal on the final weekend of the season, the Hall of Fame game. And the hope, I suppose, for Winnipeg would be that that game might be meaningless for the Montreal Alouettes by then.
Well, very well could be. See how the rest of the weekend plays out. But 44 points on an offensive unit that's really come together the last 5 weeks for Winnipeg. Buck Pierce takes control once again, and well, he was just along for the ride basically. Made some nice throws, stood in the pocket, but along for the ride from the big boys up front of that Bomber offensive line, getting the job done tonight for Will Ford and Chad Simpson.
And Ricky Ray had a terrific return night for Toronto.
Certainly did.
On any other night, you'd think that'd be enough to win a football game.
Absolutely overshadowed by the dominance of the O-line of Winnipeg.
Justin!
So a low line drive kickoff is fielded by Toronto's Emmanuel Mark. And there's 1 second remaining here in the fourth quarter. So for Winnipeg, which really felt as though it deserved better last week against Calgary, it's a win that keeps their flickering playoff hopes alive. And for Toronto, there will be more questions after a third successive home loss.
No more questions about Buck Pierce, hopefully, for the rest of the football season. Hung in there several times tonight under extreme pressure and delivered some great shots down the football.
And they're 13-1 when he starts and finishes a game. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who got off to a great start for a change, finish strongly as well and win it by a final score of 44-32.
Good luck, buddy.
Ivanovic and Burke, old friends from Montreal, and Ricky Ray and Buck Pierce, two veterans, duked it out tonight. But in the end, it was Pierce and the Bombers who came out ahead.